on one. Moss draped, shadow drenched, tortured tree trunks twist upward, reaching for rare sunlight.
I've never given much thought to how I would die.
Suddenly, every creature in the forest is deadly silent. Neither bird, beast, nor insect make a noise. A predator is near. Then, in the distance, hear a tiny snick, a twig snapping. Abruptly, we're on the move, fast. Unknown POV, moving. Trees start whipping past us at a dizzying speed. Branches are dodged with pre per whatever that word, preternatural agility, and we're speeding up, chasing something. It's exhilarating, terrifying. Finally, up ahead, we get the first glimpse of our prey, a deer, running for its life as it darts through this maze of a forest. It sprints forward, but we gain on it. Beyond the deer, see the forest's edge ahead. White sunlight glowing against the trees. The buck races for the light. We're just behind it, about to emerge from the shadowy darkness. The deer leaps into the light in a high arc, hovering, suddenly slow motion, against the white glare of the sun. Then, bam! The deer abruptly plummets out of frame at an unnatural angle, leaving the white glare to fill the screen. Hold on whiteness.
But dying in the place of someone I love seems like a good way to go.
Then into the whiteness steps the face of Isabella Swan, 17. Eyes closed against the sunlight, absorbing its rays. Long, dark hair frames alabaster skin. She's vulnerable, introverted, imperfect beauty.
So I can't bring myself to regret the decision that brought me here to die.
The background comes into focus as we realize we're now in exterior Scottsdale, Arizona day. Bella stands at the end of a Cirque du Soleil on the desert's edge. The sun blazes behind her. She bends down and carefully scoops a tiny barrel cactus into a clay pot.
The decision to leave home.
She stares at the cactus in a state of reverie until
Bye, Bella.
Bella's POV, McMansion across the street. Three tanned, athletic, blonde girls hop into a convertible Mercedes. Their flawless, bought and paid for beauty contrasts with Bella's pale naturalness. They wave.
Good luck at your new skill.
They ad-lib superficial good wishes. Don't forget to write. We'll miss you. Bella waves back, sweetly but half-heartedly as she steps off the curb.
Have a good...
And trips. When she writes herself, they're already gone.
life.
Clearly not close friends. Bella's grown-up demeanor and innate intelligence become apparent as Bella's mother, Renee, mid-30s, exits their house. It's low rent for this ritzy neighborhood. Renee is eclectic, scattered, anxious, more best friend than parent. She thrusts a cell phone at Bella.
It won't work again, baby.
You put it on hold.
I did?
Look, you also called Mexico.
Renee pushes her playfully. They laugh.
I'll figure it out. You got to be able to reach me and Phil on the road. God, I love saying that. On the road.
Very romantic.
Phil, 31, good-looking with an athlete's body, exits the house, carrying Bella's 3 suitcases with ease.
I think I'm Phil. If you call crappy motels, backwater towns, and ballpark hot dogs romantic.
He puts his Phoenix Desert Dog's baseball hat on Renee's head with a kiss. Phil's dog of Renee assures Bella. Phil heads to the old station wagon to load the luggage while Renee slips her arm through Bella's, clinging to her as they walk to the car.
Now you know you can change your mind. I'll race back here wherever the game is.
But Renee's strained expression tells us what a great sacrifice that would be. Bella forces a smile.
I won't change my mind, Mom.
You might. You've always hated forks.
It's not about forks. It's about Dad. I mean, 2 weeks a year, we barely know each other. Mom, I want to go. I'll be fine.
But as Renee hugs Bella, we see the truth on Bella's face. Dread, doubt, regret. Off Bella, struggling to keep her facade up as she climbs into the backseat of the car. Begin titles over. Bella's POV out the car window, Scottsdale. Bella, iPod earbuds in her ears, gets a last-minute glimpse of the sparkling malls, chic shoppers, manicured cactus gardens, pull up and out of the car until we're exterior above Scottsdale, aerial shot day. The McMansions get smaller as we sweep over the scorched landscape, baking under a hot sun. Beyond the housing development, see the rocky, dry desert extending for miles, rise higher and higher still until finally we're suspended within the bright, perfect blue sky with only an occasional cloud. Slowly, the clouds part, getting more numerous, thicker, darker, until we're completely immersed in them, the sun disappearing. Finally, we emerge from the clouds to find below, exterior Washington State, Olympic Peninsula, aerial shot day. Nothing but deep, dark green forests for miles, sweep down, finding the eerily dramatic Lake Crescent. Over it all hangs the mist from the ever present cloudy gray sky. Everything is wet and green and drenched in shade. Find a 2-lane highway along which drives a police cruiser. Push in on the cruiser until we reach the passenger side window. Bella looks out, taking in her gloomy new surroundings. End titles. Interior police cruiser, day, waiting at light. Bella sits next to her uniformed father, Police Chief Charlie Swan, 40s. Taciturn, introverted like Bella. Their strange silence contrasts Bella's relationship with her mother, Beat.
Your hair's longer.
Oh, yeah, I cut it since I last saw you.
Yes, it grew out again.
She just nods. Silence.
How's your mom?
Good.
More silence. Yikes. They pass a sign. The city of Forks welcomes you. Population 3,246. Bella sighs. Exterior, Forks, Washington Day. As the cruiser drives through, Bella takes in this logging town. Every storefront has a wood carving. The Timber Museum sign is 2 loggers sawing a stump. The police station is a small wooden building across from City Hall. Exterior, Charlie's house, day. The cruiser pulls up to the old 2-story house, a wood shed full of firewood. There's a small boat in the garage, fishing gear, and old buoy. Bella climbs out. Home. Interior, Charlie's house, day. Bella and Charlie carry in her bags. The house isn't stylish. The only new thing here is a flat screen TV, but it's comfortable, lived in. Lots of fishing memorabilia, photos of Charlie fishing with Killiouette, the Indian Billy Black. Handmade cards to Daddy and photos of Bella. She winces at herself, age 7, in a tutu, sitting stubbornly on the ground.
I put Grandpa's old desk in your room, and I cleared some shelves in the bathroom.
That's right. 1 bathroom.
Bella's eyes land on a photo of a much younger Charlie and Renee on vacation, beaming with love.
I'll just put these up in your room.
I can do it.
They both reach for the bags, bumping one another awkwardly. Bella backs off, letting Charlie carry the bags upstairs. Interior, Bella's room, day. An antique roll-top desk sits in a corner. The room is filled with childhood remnants that have seen better days. As she unpacks her CD case, loneliness finally overwhelms her. She sits heavily on the edge of the bed, tears threatening. Then we hear a honk outside. Bella runs across the hall and looks out the window to see, outside, a faded red truck circa 1960 pulls up. Exterior, Charlie's house, day. Bella exits to find Charlie greeting the driver, Jacob Black, 16, Killiouette Indian, amiable with long black hair and hints of childish roundness in his face. The two of them help Jacob's father, Billy Black, from the photos into a wheelchair.
Really quick, Vicky, I'm so sorry I made you do this. Billy and...
I'm going to be Billy and Bella.
I have long black hair. It's beautiful.
Billy, Bella, you remember Billy Black?
Glad you're finally here. Charlie hasn't I know he's not Western, but Charlie hasn't shut up about it since you told him you were coming.
Sorry. Keep exaggerating. I'll wheel you down the hill.
Right after I ram you in the ankles.
Billy takes several rolls at Charlie, who dodges. Jacob shakes his head at their 2 fathers as he shyly approaches Bella.
I'm Jacob. We made mud pies together when we was little kids.
Yeah, I think I remember. Are they always like this?
It's getting worse with old age.
Charlie then knocks the hood of the truck, addressing Bella.
So what do you think of your homecoming gift?
No way. The truck is for me?
Just bought it off Billy here.
I rebuilt the engine then.
It's perfect.
She beams. It's the first genuine smile we've seen on her. She rushes to the truck. Jacob eagerly joins her.
Okay, so you gotta double pump the clutch when you shift, but here you go.
He hands the keys as she climbs in.
Maybe I can give you a ride to school.
I go to school on the reservation.
Too bad. Would have been nice to know at least one person.
As she starts up the truck, we match cut. Exterior Forks High School, Bella's truck, day. Loud, belching and turning heads as Bella parks, mortified. All eyes are on her as she climbs out of her truck and steps in a puddle, soaking her sneakers. She slinks towards school as we begin. Interior High School, a series of shots day. Bella, never without her iPod, makes her way through kids who stare openly. A few brave ones say hi. They're all talking about her. This is her hell. Bella wanders the walkway looking for room numbers lost. Constance stares at Bella, the outsider. Series ends when a sweet, nerd cute motor mouth boy, Eric, appears in her path.
You're Isabel Swan, the new girl. Hi, I'm Eric, the eyes and ears of this place. Anything you need. Tour guide, lunch date, shoulder to cry on.
Bella just looks at him. Is he for real?
I'm kind of the suffer in silence type.
Good headline for your feature. I'm on the paper and you're news, baby. Front page.
Oh no, I'm not news. I'm seriously not at all.
Whoa. Chillax. No feature.
Would you mind just pointing me towards Mr. Varner's class?
He leads her away, enjoying the attentive stares as she cringes from them.
You've missed a lot of the semester, but I can hook you up. Tutor, cliff notes, medical excuse.
Interior gym day. The boys basketball team run drills on half the basketball court. A girls volleyball team occupies the other half. Bella, in gym clothes, avoids the volleyball like it's radioactive. An energetic, athletic team captain, Jessica, motivates the players.
Block it, Chloe. Yeah, good attack.
Unfortunately, the volleyball heads towards Bella. She closes her eyes and flails at it. Smacking it, it flies off court and beans a basketball player in the head. He is Mike Newton, good-looking, affable, with blonde spiky hair.
Ow.
Oh my gosh, are you all right? I warned them not to make me play.
It's only a flesh wound.
Mike grins and she smiles, relieved. A bell rings, class is over.
You're Isabella, right?
Just Bella.
I'm Mike Newton.
He looks at her a second too long, clearly taken by her. Suddenly, Jessica appears, stepping between them, subtle but possessive as she nudges Mike.
She's got a great spike, doesn't she? So you're from Arizona, right? Aren't people from Arizona supposed to be tan down there?
That's why they kicked me out.
Mike laughs, and because he does, Jessica does. Bella just feels uncomfortable with the attention. Interior cafeteria day. Follow Bella, Mike, and Jessica as they carry their trays to a table. Eric appears and squishes into a seat next to Bella.
Mike, you met my homegirl Bella?
Your homegirl?
It's first grade all over again, and you're the shiny new toy.
Bella smiles awkwardly. Suddenly, a flashbulb blinds Bella. She looks up to the photographer, Angela, Jessica's sweet, low-key, insecure friend.
Sorry,
I
need a candid for the feature.
Feature's dead, Angela. Don't bring it up again. I got your back, baby.
Guess we'll just run another editorial on teen drinking.
Sorry. There's always eating disorders. Or Speedo packing on the swim team.
Wait, that's a good one.
But Bella's attention is now riveted to Bella's POV, the double doors of the cafeteria. They swing open as four of the most astounding people Bella's ever seen, the Cullens. Two guys, two girls, all chalky pale, purplish shadows under their eyes, and all devastatingly beautiful. They move through the room with effortless grace and take a seat at a table furthest from Bella's. Bella leans over to Jessica and Angela.
Who are they?
The Cullens.
Jessica leans in, swinging into gossip mode.
Dr. and Mrs. Cullen's foster kids, they all moved down here from Alaska like 2 years ago.
They kind of keep to themselves.
Because they're all together, like together. The blonde girl, Rosalie, and the big dark-haired guy, Emmett.
On Rosalie, 18, long blonde hair, model, beautiful, knows it. Alongside her, Emmett, 17, big, brawny, like a weightlifter, but a playful glint in his eyes.
They're a thing. I'm not even sure that's legal.
Jess, they're not actually related.
But they live together. It's weird. And the little dark-haired girl, Alice, she's really weird.
On Alice, 17, pixie-like, rail thin, light on her feet with short black hair going in every direction. She hovers over Jasper, 18, honey blonde hair, tall, lean, slightly tortured.
She's with Jasper, the blonde one who looks like he's in pain. I mean, Dr. Cullen's like this foster dad / matchmaker.
Maybe he'll adopt me.
Bella laughs, liking her, then sees the last Cullen to enter. Edward, 17, lanky with untidy, bronze-colored hair. He seems inwardly turned, mysterious, more boyish than the others, but the most striking of all. Bella can't take her eyes off him.
Who's he?
That's Edward Cullen.
Suddenly, Edward looks over as if he heard Jessica from across the room. His eyes meet Bella's, but he seems confused. Bella quickly looks away.
He's totally gorgeous, obviously, but apparently no one here is good enough for him. Like I care, you know? Anyway, don't even waste your time.
Wasn't planning on it.
But Bella can't help but peek at Edward again. He's staring at her outright now with a slightly frustrated expression that unnerves Bella. She hides behind her hair. Interior biology class day. A room of black top lab tables, 2 to a table. Bella and Mike enter. Mike takes his seat and points her toward Mr. Molina, Birkenstocked, enthusiastic science teacher at the head of the class. As Bella moves to the teacher with her class slip, she notes Edward, his back to her, sitting at a front table. But as she passes Edward's table, the breeze she creates when she passes lifts a piece of paper next to Edward. We're still on his back as he inhales, then abruptly stiffens. He grabs onto the edge of the table, crumbling it slightly. No one notices. Mr. Molina takes Bella's class slip.
Welcome, Miss Swan. Follow along as best you can till you get caught up.
Mr. Molina gestures to the only empty seat next to Edward. But as Bella approaches, she's taken aback when, on Edward's face, he slowly looks up at her, his eyes coal black with repulsion, fury. If looks could literally kill. Bella knocks someone's book bag off their chair, replaces it, mumbling an apology, then slinks reluctantly into her seat. Edward jerks away from her to the extreme edge of his chair.
Today, we'll be observing the behavior of planaria, aka flatworms.
As Mr. Molina distributes 2 petri dishes per table.
We're going to cut them in half, then watch them regenerate into 2 separate worms.
Bella glances at Edward, who averts his face, holding a hand over his nose as if he smells something horrible. Bella, shrinking, subtly sniffs the air, smells nothing. Then she sniffs her hair. It's fine. She's perplexed. Mr. Molina hands Edward 2 petri dishes.
Yes, folks, zombie worms. They just won't die.
Edward takes a dish, then slides the second one across the table to Bella as if she had Ebola. She takes her dish and makes a stark curtain of her hair between them. She can see Edward's hand under the table, clenched into fists, off Bella, utterly baffled and deeply insecure. Interior high school hallway day. As the bell rings, Edward bolts out the door. Other kids and Bella exit a moment later. Bella looks down the hall. He's gone. Interior administration office day. Bella enters, but nearly turns and leaves when she sees Edward, sweet-talking the enchanted female administrator, 40s. He doesn't see Bella enter.
Oh, you're muted.
There must be something open 6th period. Physics? Biochem?
No, every class is full. I'm afraid you'll have to stay in biology. I'm sorry.
Bella blanches. The administrator sees her face and gestures for her to wait a minute. But Edward suddenly straightens as if sensing Bella. He slowly turns to glare at her with piercing, hate-filled eyes. She backs to the wall, hugging herself, suddenly chilled with fear.
I'll just endure it.
He strides out the door, off Bella. Exterior high school day. Edward climbs into a shiny new silver Volvo with the Cullens, while Bella, upset, hurries to her truck. The many eyes still watching her, add insult to injury. Finally, she reaches interior Bella's truck, continuous, and closes the door. Her eyes, well, but she fights it, getting mad.
Jerk.
As she tries to start the car, choking the engine, we begin to hear a man's ragged, frightening breath smash to extreme close-up on a security guard in the darkness. Extremely tight on his face, sweat dripping, breathing in short gasps, trying desperately not to make a sound. Include interior Grisham Mill, late afternoon. He's crouched in a dark corner, but then he sees a shadow move blindingly fast past him. He jerks around, then another shadow flies past, too fast to follow. He bolts. He runs up a flight of stairs, harsh light from the exterior of the mill serrating him. He moves as fast as humanly possible. Unknown POV on the security guard from several floors below. Unknown POV charges after him at an inhuman speed through this maze of pillars and walkways. We dodge skull-crushing beams, leap from one floor up to the next, up ladders, scaffolding, beams, up and up, getting closer and closer to the security guard, who desperately runs for his life, looking over his shoulder with terror. Unknown POV is closing in on him, but then he bolts out the door. Exterior Gresham Mill, continuous, late afternoon. The guard bursts out onto a stair landing, but loses his footing and trips, breaking through the rail and pitching over the side into the air, and stops, hovering midair, a yard from the landing. A hand grips his shirt, then yanks him out of the air and out of frame with incredible strength. His guttural scream is choked short as blood sprays the landing. Interior Forks Coffee Shop, late afternoon. On a top sirloin steak, as it is set in front of Charlie, he shares a table with Bella, include the waitress, Cora, 30s. She beams at Bella as she sets a plate of cod in front of her. Several loggers at the counter offer Bella welcoming smiles. She shrinks in her seat at the attention. Charlie's oblivious.
I think Hannah, I think I designated you as Cora. Give it 10 seconds and then I'll just do it. All right. Can't get over how grown up you are and so gorgeous. Why is everyone country?
Bella glances at Charlie, who keeps his eyes on his steak. A bearded hippie logger, Waylon Forge, 50s, appears behind Cora, leaning over her shoulder to Bella.
Remember me, honey? I was Santa one year. Waylon, she hasn't had a Christmas here since she was 4. Bet I made an impression, though. You always do. What was Cora wearing? Let the girl eat her cod, Waylon. When you're done, Bella, I'll bring you your favorite berry cobbler. Remember, your dad still has it every Thursday.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Cora shoos Waylon away. Left alone now, Charlie and Bella both reach for the salt, knock hands. Charlie goes for the ketchup instead. Silence as they eat. A burst of laughter from a nearby happy family only serves to emphasize their discomfort. Bella tries to bridge the gap.
So, you eat here every night?
Easier than washing dishes.
I can cook.
He looks up, as if confused by the concept.
I do the cooking at home in Phoenix. Mom's not great in the kitchen.
I remember.
They both laugh, recalling an especially bad dinner.
How was school? Meet anyone?
A few people. Do you know the Cullen family?
People talking about them again.
No. Well, a little.
Just because they're newcomers. We're lucky to have a surgeon like Dr. Cullen at Podunk Hospital. Lucky his wife wanted to live in a small town. Lucky his kids aren't like a lot of the hellraisers around here.
Okay.
I just don't like narrow-mindedness.
And he returns to his food. Silence. Interior Bella's room, night. Bella looks out at the fog as she talks on the phone.
Who is Renee?
Hi.
Okay.
Light on. Okay, I didn't lose my power cord. It ran away, screaming. I literally rebelled technology. Oop. My wrong line.
No, you're
Sorry.
a little bit up. You're good.
If spring, if spring training goes well, we could be living in Florida permanently.
Please insert
insert
25 cents
25
to
cents to
continue. Oh,
continue.
sorry.
Mom, where's your cell?
Okay, I didn't lose my power cord. It ran away, screaming. I literally repelled technology.
Bella smiles, missing her mom. Renee feeds the phone quarters.
Now tell me more about school, baby. What are the kids like? Are they cute guys? Are they being nice to you?
They've all been really welcoming.
Push in on Bella's face, getting mad all over again. Flash pop to Edward's face, his cold black eyes, the fury. Smash to exterior high school morning. On Bella, sitting atop a table, an open book in her lap. But her eyes are on the arriving kids and the parking lot as they pull in. She's waiting for Edward. Jessica, Angela, Mike, and Eric kick around a soccer ball nearby. They wave Bella to join them, but she smiles, declining, and returns to watching for Edward. Her face tells us she's ready for a confrontation. Interior biology class, same day. Bella strides in, but stops, surprised to find her lab table empty. Off Bella, frustrated. Begin a series of scenes over several days. Interior cafeteria, different day. Bella sits with Jessica and Angela, who watch a YouTube video on their phone. Bella gives it a cursory look, but is focused on the Cullen table. Only 4 of them. Edward's seat is empty. Interior girls' bathroom, different day. Bella washes her hands, then looks up at the mirror, startled to find Rosalie and Alice behind her. They study Bella, Rosalie with chillingly cold eyes, Alice with curiosity. Bella, uneasy, hurries out. Exterior Forks High School, different day. Bella exits with Angela, Mike, Jessica, and Eric, becoming a part of the circle. She now only glances at Rosalie's car, a red M3 BMW, as it drives past, noting again 4 Cullens, no Edward. Bella returns to her friends, finally forgetting about him. Series of scenes end as we go to interior Charlie's house, living room, morning. It's neater, rearranged more attractively. Clearly, Bella's given it her touch. She sweeps through, folding Charlie's fleece jacket, straightening up. She grabs her book bag.
Dad, I'm heading out.
Exterior Charlie's house, morning. On Bella's face as she opens the door and stops, dismay filling her. It's pouring down rain. The yard is full of puddles, some frozen. Bella shivers, wraps her coat tight.
Great.
Whip pan to the driveway as Charlie pulls in, driving her truck.
Dad, I can drive myself to school.
As she walks down the steps, she doesn't realize something's watching her. Unknown POV from the trees. Tracking Bella's every move as she slips and falls on a patch of ice. Back on Bella, fallen on her ass. Charlie climbs out of the truck, helps her up.
You okay, Bells?
Ice doesn't help the uncoordinated.
That's why I got you new tires.
She looks over at the truck. Yep, 4 new tires.
The other ones were nearly bald.
You got me new tires? No one's ever done that for me before.
Charlie looks at her, confused.
I mean, nothing.
He clearly doesn't get it as heads toward his cruiser.
I'll be late for dinner. I'm heading down to Mason County. Security guard at the Grissom Mill got killed by some kind of animal.
Unknown POV on Bella and Charlie as he speaks.
An animal?
You're not in Phoenix anymore, honey. They've been hunting it for a week with no luck. Thought I'd lend a hand.
Be careful.
Always am.
Back on Bella.
And thank you for the tires.
He sees emotion in her eyes, doesn't understand it, but nods, heads inside. Bella looks at the tires again, oddly moved. Omitted. Interior biology class, hallway, day. Rain beats on the roof as Eric walks Bella into class. She brushes water off her coat as he chats her up.
And yeah, prom committee is a chick thing, but I gotta cover it for the paper anyway, and they need a guy to help choose the music. So I need your playlist.
Bella is about to respond when Mike comes up behind her.
Come on, Arizona, give it up for the rain.
and he shakes his wet baseball cap onto Bella's head.
Terrific.
She heads towards her seat, brushing off her hair, but she freezes when she sees Edward. Bella straightens, girding herself, then strides to the table and confidently drops her books down, ready to address him, but he looks up at her.
Hello.
Bella stops, stunned. He's direct, precise, as if every word is an effort for him.
I didn't have a chance to introduce myself last week. My name is Edward Cullen.
She's too shocked that he's talking to her to answer.
You're Bella?
Yes.
Feeling like an idiot, she quickly sits. He abruptly moves to the extreme edge of the seat. She's even more baffled now.
Onion root tip cells. That's what's on your slides. Separate and label them into the phases of mitosis. The first partners to get it right win the golden onion. Oh, you can't see it.
He excitedly holds up a spray painted onion. Everyone just looks at him. He's disappointed by their apathy.
Come on, people. TikTok.
Everyone sets up to work. Edward pushes the microscope to Bella, keeping his distance, his voice controlled.
Ladies first.
She grabs the microscope defensively and snaps the first slide in, adjusting the lens. She's curt as she addresses him.
You've been gone.
Goodbye.
Out of town.
She glances at him, but he just leans far away, his face tight. She looks back into the microscope.
Bro face.
She begins to remove the slide.
May I look?
She slides him the microscope. He glances through the lens.
You left the dishes there even though I told you.
I washed my dishes.
Like I said.
Yelling at me for no reason.
Sheet. Then he takes a breath, as if trying to calm himself, and turns to her with enormous effort.
Enjoying the rain?
Seriously? You're asking me about the weather?
It appears.
No, I don't like the cold, or the wet, or the gray, or parkas, or turtlenecks.
Is that a smile playing on his lips? For the first time, he seems more intrigued than agonized. He studies her. She still can't tell if he despises her or not. It's infuriating.
What?
He shakes his head and turns to the microscope, switching out the slides. She looks at him and keeps looking. Bella's POV, extreme close-up on Edward's face, his cheekbones, his lips. So perfect, like a sculpture.
Anaphase.
She snaps out of it, covers with a dry look.
May I? Anaphase.
Like I said.
She glances at him, and this time sees a smirk. She simply holds out her hand for another slide.
If you hate cold and rain, why move to the wettest place in the continental US?
It's complicated.
I think I can keep up.
He actually seems interested. She looks into the microscope as...
My mother remarried.
Very complex. So you don't like him?
Phil is fine. Young for her, but nice enough. Interphase.
Cut on the school bell. Interior high school. Hallway moments later. Bella exits holding the golden onion and practically runs into Edward, who's directly in front of her.
Why didn't you stay with your mom and stepdad?
He waits for her to answer, studying her as if trying to decipher her. She's drawn in by his attention, oddly compelled.
All right. Phil's a minor league baseball player, so he travels a lot. My mother stayed home with me, but it made her unhappy. So I decided to spend time with my father.
But now you're unhappy.
No, I just...
Bella turns away, embarrassed, vulnerable.
I'm just trying to figure you out. You're very hard to read.
He's clearly trying to read her now. Their eyes meet again, but now she looks more closely at him.
Did you get contacts?
No.
Your eyes were black before. Now they're this golden brown, or
It's just the fluorescence.
He abruptly turns and walks away. As he does, Bella notes his hands, clenched into tight fists. Off Bella, utterly bewildered, both intrigued and frustrated. Exterior high school parking lot day. The rain has stopped, but the parking lot is full of water and patches of black ice. Shivering, Bella heads for her truck, carrying the onion, carefully navigating the icy puddles. As she reaches her truck, she looks across the lot. Edward stands by his silver Volvo with his siblings about to climb in. A moment as their eyes meet, then he looks towards the sound of a high-pitched screech that quickly grows louder. Bella turns to see a van skidding on the ice, careening out of control, heading directly for her. Time suddenly fractures, compressing to stillness, then exploding into bursts of speed as the face of the students, in shock, seeing what's coming. The van driver's face, Tyler, desperately trying to gain control, then shielding his face. Edward's face, looking at Bella with horror. The van is about to hit Bella's truck, with her standing in between, when suddenly something knocks Bella down, pinning her to the ground. She looks up. Edward's on top of her. The world around them freezes. In this fraction of a second, their proximity is overwhelming, electrifying. He breathes in her scent. She takes in his flawless face. Abruptly, we blast back to speed as several things happen so quickly. We and Bella are unsure what's going on. The van smashes into the back of Bella's truck, then spins around, once again careening toward her and Edward. Then suddenly, Edward's hands are creating a deep dent in the side of the van's body as it shudders to a stop, a foot from Bella. Edward literally pushes the van away. Then silence. A long beat, void of any sound, as Bella looks at Edward, trying to absorb what just happened. Edward's fear for her is still alive in his face. She starts to speak, but the screaming begins. Yelling, calls for help. People leap to Tyler's aid, run to Bella and Edward. Bella sees the onion on the ground, smashed as she would have been. As everyone sweeps in, Edward moves into the BG. Mike and Eric run to Bella.
What happened?
Are you
Did
okay?
anything
Are you hurt?
happen?
Amid the chaos, Bella sees Edward's siblings looking at Edward, but they show no hint of concern for his safety. Instead, they look at him with disapproval and fury. Interior hospital treatment area day. The double doors burst open as Charlie runs in. Face white with terror, he spots Bella, sitting on a gurney, the ER doctor looking into her eyes with a pen light. On the next gurney over, Tyler, the van's driver, lies with a mild head wound. Charlie rushes up.
Fellas, are you all right?
I'm fine, Dad. Calm down.
I'm so sorry, Bella. I tried to stop.
It's okay, Tyler.
It sure as hell's not okay.
Dad, it's not his fault.
We nearly lost you.
But you didn't.
He'd hug her if that was who he or who she was. Instead, he glares at Tyler.
You can kiss your license goodbye.
I heard the chief's daughter was here.
They look up as Dr. Carlisle Cullen, mid-30s, approaches, blonde, movie star handsome. His face is kind, but pale, tired.
Good. Dr. Cullen.
I've got this one, Jackie.
The ER doctor hands Dr. Cullen the chart, exits. Dr. Cullen reviews her chart, then feels the back of her head as...
You have a nice knot growing back there, but your x-rays show no indication of concussion.
I'm so sorry, Bella.
Charlie abruptly pulls the curtain between them.
Would have been a lot worse if Edward hadn't knocked me out of the way.
Edward, your boy?
Dr. Cullen quickly looks back at the chart. Bella's intuition flickers, sensing he knows something. She presses.
It was amazing. He got to me so fast. He was nowhere near me.
As long as you're safe.
Interior hospital reception day. Charlie and Bella exit the treatment area.
I just have to sign some paperwork. You better call your mom.
You told her? She's probably freaking.
He shrugs and hurries off. Bella shakes her head, pulls out her cell phone, Is about to dial, but then sees down the hall Bella's POV, Edward, Rosalie, and Dr. Cullen. Rosalie is clearly furious at Edward, who stands his ground. Dr. Cullen plays intermediary.
This isn't just about you, it's about all of us.
Dr. Cullen sees Bella and stops Rosalie.
Let's take this in my office.
Rosalie glares at Edward as she goes off with Dr. Cullen. Edward adopts a nonchalant air as Bella approaches, determined.
Can I talk to you for a moment? How did you get over to me so quickly?
I was standing right next to you.
You were next to your car, across the lot.
He steps closer to her. His expression turns icy hard.
No, I wasn't.
She won't be bullied. Steps closer to him.
Yes, you were.
You're confused. You hit your head.
I know what I saw.
And what exactly was that?
You stopped the van. You pushed the van away.
Well, no one will believe that.
I wasn't planning on telling anyone.
This registers with Edward. They're inches from each other, the tension thick.
I just want to know the truth.
Can't you just thank me and get over it?
Thank you.
A long beat as they look at each other, angry, defensive, and without a doubt attracted.
You're not going to let it go, are you?
Nope.
Then I hope you enjoy disappointment.
Why did I even bother?
He stops, a beat, looks back at her, unexpectedly vulnerable.
I don't know.
And he keeps walking. Off Bella, confused, frustratingly attracted, and absolutely determined to find out the truth.
That was the first night I dreamed about Edward Cullen.
Dream sequence, underwater. Bella swims, white skin aglow, hair floating weightlessly, sensually. Suddenly, something blasts past her. She spins. It's gone. Something blasts behind her. She spins again to find herself face to face with Edward. Bella reaches for him, but he abruptly springs backward, just out of reach. Smash to interior Bella's room on Bella night. As she bolts up awake, in that split second, in the darkness, she sees Edward watching her. She snaps on the light. The room is empty. Was she dreaming? Exterior high school parking lot day. Bella stands in the exact spot of the accident. Behind her on the lawn, several classes congregate, gathering for the field trip. Mr. Molina is in charge.
Make sure I get your permission slips.
Push in on Bella's face, staring at the skid marks on the pavement. Flash pop to the van, reeling right for her. Flash pop to Edward's hand, stopping the van. Flash pop to Edward on top of her. The proximity, electricity, back on Bella, blushing at the memory. Then she sees Edward ride with Alice and Jasper. She watches him, barely noticing as Mike trots up to her.
Look, you're moving. You're alive.
Yeah, false alarm.
Actually, I'm glad you're not dead, because, well, that would suck. Plus, I wanted to ask you, even though it's like a month away.
But Bella is distracted by Edward. Mike's voice dips as Bella's POV across the lawn. Edward, head down, is in quite conference with Jasper and Alice. Abruptly, he looks up, as if listening to her and Mike, though he's too far away to hear. Bella quickly refocuses on Mike.
So, what do you think? You want to go to prom with me?
Prom, as in the dance. I have to go somewhere to Jacksonville. Yeah.
You can't go another weekend?
Non-refundable ticket. Maybe you should ask Jessica.
Mike follows Bella's eyes way across the lawn to Jessica. She smiles at them. Suddenly, Edward crosses in front of Jessica. He seems to be smirking. Interior Community College Greenhouse Field Trip Day. Mr. Molina and a tour guide lead several dozen kids through the greenhouse. Bella keeps an eye on Edward, who's up ahead with Alice and Jasper. Mr. Molina demonstrates the compost machine as the students mess around.
Come on, Eric. Stuff that compost down deep. That's it. Now, Tyler, take a big steaming cup of compost tea. This is recycling at its most basic level. Hey, don't drink that.
When Bella sees Edward paused by an ancient sage-horned fern alone, she takes a breath for courage and strides up to him.
Hello, Edward.
He glances at her, merely nodding. We notice his fists clench and unclench. Bella looks at him, appalled by his rudeness.
Really?
No response.
No response? Oh.
No response. She turns and starts to walk away. Sorry.
What's in Jacksonville?
She turns back to him.
How did you know about that?
You didn't answer my question.
You haven't answered any of mine. You won't even say hello.
Hello.
And how did you stop the van?
An adrenaline rush. Very common. You can Google it.
Floridians. That's what's in Jacksonville.
She turns to storm off, but stumbles over the irrigation hose. Edward steadies her, catching her scent still so powerful. He clenches his jaw.
It helps if you actually watch where you put your feet.
Insulted, she keeps moving. He keeps pace. Serious now.
I know I've been rude, but it's for the best.
He just looks at him like he's crazy. He walks away as Jessica suddenly rushes up.
Guess who just asked me to prom?
Bella smiles.
I totally thought Mike was gonna ask you, Bella. Is it gonna be weird?
No way. Zero weirdness. You guys are great together.
I know, right?
Giddy, Jessica rushes to catch up with Angela. Bella heads out the door that leads to exterior community college greenhouse, the buses, where everyone's looking at the compost worm box, grossing each other out with the slimy creatures. As Bella backs away, Edward steps up.
Bella, it would be better if we weren't friends.
Too bad you didn't figure that out earlier.
You
could have let the van crush me and saved yourself all this regret.
You think I regret saving you?
I know you do.
You don't know anything.
His harshness stings her. Suddenly, Alice appears at Edward's side. She eyes Bella with curiosity.
The bus is Levine. Hi. Will you be riding with us?
No, our bus is full.
He purposefully walks Alice away, but he glances back at Bella with, is that remorse? She doesn't see it. Interior Charlie's house kitchen evening. Bella enters, throws down her book bag and coat, still angry. She starts upstairs, but Charlie enters from the kitchen.
Your mother called again.
Your fault, telling her about the accident.
She always did know how to worry, but she's changed too. She seems happy. Phil sounds all right.
He is.
She continues upstairs, glancing at her parents' wedding photo. Off Bella's face, we match cut. Interior high school cafeteria on Bella's face today. As she pushes through the doors, she glances over at the Cullen table, Edward with his siblings. He doesn't look at her. Anger and determination set in. And again, as Bella joins Eric, Jessica, Mike, and Angela, she drops her book bag on a seat.
La push, baby, you in?
Should I know what that means?
La Push Beach, down on the Quinolette Res. We're all going after school. Big swell coming in.
And I don't just surf the internet.
Eric, you stood up once on a foam board.
There's whale watching too. Come with.
La push, baby.
I'll go if you stop saying that.
The salad bar station, minutes later. Bella artfully designs an architectural salad. As she reaches for an apple, Edward is suddenly next to her.
Edible art.
Startled, she fumbles and drops the apple. Edward catches it with his foot, hacky sack style, then bounces it back into his hand. The red of the apple stark against his pale skin. He presents it to her with a smile.
Thanks. But your mood swings are giving me whiplash.
I said it would be better if we weren't friends. Not that I didn't want to be.
What does that even mean?
It means if you were smart, you'd avoid me.
Edward inadvertently glances at his 4 inhumanely beautiful siblings who wait for him expectantly at their table. She notes her own, very human friends monitoring this conversation from their table. Mike glowers jealously.
So let's say, for argument's sake, that I'm not smart. Would you talk to me? Tell me the truth.
Probably not. I'd rather hear your theories.
Okay. How about radioactive spiders? Kryptonite.
You're talking about superheroes. But what if I'm not the hero? What if I'm the bad guy?
No, I don't believe that. You're not bad. You can be a jerk, but it's like this mask to keep people away.
He's taken aback by her honesty, her insight, drawn in by her.
Look, why don't we just hang out? Like, come to the beach with us. It'll be fun. Sand fleas, wind burn, salt water stinging your eyes.
Which beach?
La Push.
His smile lessens, almost imperceptibly.
Is something wrong with that beach?
Edward glances over at Mike. The two exchange cold looks.
It's just a little crowded.
Off Bella as Edward walks away. Exterior, La Push Beach day. It's freezing, but Mike, Tyler, Jessica, and others suit up for a surf. Eric hangs with them. Bella wanders by the driftwood with Angela, who takes photographs.
I keep thinking Eric's going to ask me to prom. Then he just doesn't.
You could ask him. Take control. You're a strong, independent woman.
I am?
Bella.
She looks up to see 3 Killiwet boys approaching the group, Jacob Black and Sam and Embry. Bella smiles at Jacob.
Guys, this is Jacob. Are you stalking me?
Yo, you're muted.
Oh, wait, you're muted.
Sorry. You're on my res, remember? You surfing?
Definitely not.
Keep her company. Her date bailed.
What date?
She invited Edward.
To be polite.
I think it's nice that she invited him. No one ever does.
Because Cullen's a freak.
You got that right.
You know them?
The Cullens don't come here.
Jacob shoots Sam a look, shakes his head. Bella registers this, a beat. Then she casually pulls Jacob aside.
You want to go look at tide pools?
She offers an awkwardly flirtatious smile. He grins, infatuated, as they head toward the water. Exterior La Push Beach later day. Bella and Jacob wander in the water, looking out to sea for whales. The surfers are out on the waves. She nudges him, continuing her attempt at flirtation.
So what does your friend mean about the Cullens not coming here?
Oops, caught that, huh?
He moves closer to her, lowering his voice for mock secrecy. I'm not supposed to say anything. Belle gives him her best alluring smile.
I can keep a secret.
It's just an old scary story. Did you know the Quillets are supposedly descended from wolves?
Like fur, fangs, doggy breath.
Jacob chuckles. Bella smiles and prompts him to continue.
So the legend about the Cullens is...
Well, they're supposedly descended from like this enemy clan, but they claim to be different, so we made a treaty with them.
Didn't they just move here?
Or just move back.
Right. So what was this treaty?
If they promised to stay off Gillet lands, we wouldn't expose what they really were to the pale faces.
Jacob pauses dramatically. Bella shivers.
Do you want to scream? Can you scream? It's part of this. Scream?
Wait, did
Yeah,
y'all not
just
hear me
scream.
scream?
Bella jumps at the blood-curdling scream as Angela runs past, chased by Eric waving a dead crustacean. Jacob smirks and starts back to the group.
Wait, what were they really?
It's just a story, Bella.
Off Bella with more unanswered questions. Exterior shack community on the river late afternoon. A collection of haphazard shacks and boat docks connected by wood plank sidewalks. Find Waylon Forge, scraping paint off his boat, swigging drink as he listens to his prehistoric Walkman. His old dog lies next to him as the sounds of the forests and river chirp and buzz. Waylon sings along to his Walkman. Suddenly, the sounds of nature abruptly silence themselves. The dog raises his head, starts to growl. Waylon doesn't notice. Stay on Waylon, singing, working, until he looks up and realizes the dog's gone.
Jerry?
Waylon pulls off the headphones, whistles, no dog. Waylon walks up a walkway, then sees a dog leg sticking out from under a bush.
Come on, Jerry, you old mutt.
He pulls the leg, it's detached. He reels back, stumbling onto his boat, frantically untying the line and pushing out. On the water, Waylon floats, breast short, listening acutely. Waylon's POV on the woods lining the river. Ominous darkness, a noise. He jerks around, nothing. Then suddenly his boat rocks violently. He spins. A man, now standing on the bow. James, 30, pale white. A vampire, but his eyes, unlike the Cullens, are a deep, sinister burgundy and absolutely lethal. His cat-like movements are always on the edge of a crouch.
How do you do that? Always the same inane questions.
Waylon turns, but a woman leaps onto the bow. It's Victoria, 26. Chaotic red hair filled with leaves from the woods. Terrified, Waylon spins around to see Laurent, 28. Glossy, black hair, olive skin, lounging on his boat seat. All three nomads wear frayed clothes, and all three are barefoot.
I wasn't paying attention. Where are we? Okay, sorry.
I can do James.
What do you want? I got it. I'm sorry.
Why are you doing this?
James, must we?
The question should be, will it hurt?
Victoria grins sadistically. Then, with lightning fast speed, the three of them violently lunge, smash to black, fade in on Edward's face against blackness. Snapshots of his eyes, his cheekbones, his lips. Interior, Bella's room, on her face, morning. As she sits in front of her computer, lost in thought, she shakes herself out of it and types into her search engine, Kiluet Legends, Olympic Peninsula. An ad pops up, Thunderbird and Whale Bookstore, Port Angeles. Bella, intrigued, clicks on it. Exterior Forks High School, sunny day. The sun has come out and so has the skin. Kids are in shorts, though it's still barely 60 degrees. Everyone eats lunch outdoors. Bella searches the crowd for Edward.
He's not here.
She looks down to find Jessica sitting on the grass.
Whenever the weather's nice, the Cullens disappear.
They just ditch?
No, Dr. and Mrs. Cullen yank them out for hiking and camping and stuff. I tried the idea out on my parents, not even close.
Bella registers this as Angela suddenly jumps on them.
I'm going to the prom with Eric. I just asked him. I took control. Are you sure you have to go out of town?
It's a family thing.
Oh my god, we need to hit the stores in Port Angeles before the dresses get cleaned out.
Port Angeles? Can I go with you guys?
Thank God, we need your opinion.
Off Bella, that's not really what she had in mind. Interior boutique Port Angeles on Bella's face, afternoon. Antsy distracted as Jessica and Angela try on dresses. Bella pulls a MapQuest print out from her purse. It reads Thunderbird and Whales Bookstore, Jessica Florence is out of the changing room, posing provocatively.
I think this halter makes my boobs look big. What do you think, Bella?
Outside the window, a group of rowdy frat boys head toward a bar. Two of them stare at Jessica in her low-cut dress. Embarrassed, she turns back to Bella.
Bella?
It looks great.
You said that about the last 5 dresses, though.
You're not very good at this, are you?
Maybe I should just go check out the bookstore and I'll meet you guys at the restaurant later.
You sure?
Bella nods, heads out. Jessica looks in the mirror again.
She was right about this halter, though. It does look great.
Omitted. Exterior Thunderbird and Whale bookstore streets, night. Bella exits, thumbing through a book she just bought. She heads down the sidewalk, but then hears footsteps behind her. She turns, doesn't see anyone. She puts the book in her shoulder bag and continues. Unknown POV on Bella, someone's following her. She looks around, changing course to cut across a small parking lot. Unknown POV gets closer and closer until she reaches exterior warehouse at end of parking lot night. Isolated. Bella, short of breath, scared, turns around just as 2 men emerge from the shadows. Not vampires, but the frat boys, really wasted now.
Want a beer?
She looks to her left. The other 2 guys are there. She's cornered. She takes her purse from around her shoulder.
Look, just take my bag.
We don't want your bag.
She takes a defensive stance and wraps the strap around her wrist to use her purse as a mace. They chortled derisively, whatever. But when frat boy 1 comes near, she swings it, hits him in the groin. The book in her bag doubles him over. The other 3 laugh and start to close in, but suddenly, headlights blind them. A silver Volvo screeches up. The frat boys dive out of the way. The passenger side door opens. It's Edward. She's too stunned to even move.
Get in.
She finally does, but frat boy 2 jumps into the game and rushes Edward's side of the car. Edward screeches to a halt and is out of the car and facing frat boy 2. So fast, neither the frat boys nor Bella see it. Nor does Bella see Edward's glare, so chilling, so animalistic in its fury that frat boy 2, scared, instinctively backs off. As Edward climbs back into the car, Bella just stares at him. Interior, Edward's car, driving, night. Bella continues to stare. She sees that he's seething with anger, hands gripping the steering wheel, jaw clenched.
What? No, how did you find...
I should go back and rip their heads off.
Nope, bad idea.
You don't know the vile, repulsive things they were thinking.
And you do?
Not hard to guess.
Exterior Waterfall Restaurant, front entrance night. Jessica and Angela exit the restaurant as Bella approaches.
Where were you? We left you a message.
Yeah, we waited, but we were like starving.
Then they see Edward behind her, climbing out of his car. They freeze, agog. He's composed now, making an effort to be charming, and they are charmed.
Sorry, I kept Bella from dinner. We ran into each other and got talking.
We understand. We were just leaving, so...
2 girls start to go. Bella is forced to go with them.
Okay, well, thank you.
He starts to follow the girls. Edward is torn, then abruptly.
Maybe I should make sure Bella gets something to eat, if you'd like. Then I could drive you back home myself.
So thoughtful.
Really thoughtful.
I could eat.
As he guides her off, the 2 girls share a look and noiseless scream of excitement. Exterior Waterfall Restaurant dining patio night. Bella and Edward sit on the deck. A dramatic waterfall shimmers behind them. A waitress places a steaming plate of mesquite roasted salmon in front of Bella and nothing in front of Edward. She exits.
You're not eating?
I'm on a special diet.
Like South Beach?
Not exactly.
She looks at him curiously as she takes the bite.
So how about some answers?
Yes, no, to get to either side, and 1.77245385
I didn't ask for the square root of pi.
You knew that.
How did you know where I was?
I didn't.
She shakes her head, frustrated, and turns to.
Don't go.
He seems torn by some internal dilemma. Then finally,
Were you following me?
I feel very protective of you.
So that's a yes.
Yes, I followed you. I tried to keep my distance until you needed my help.
You said before that you heard what those guys were thinking. Can you read minds?
I'm thinking of getting a 900 number.
All right. So you read minds. What am I thinking? Wait. Okay, now go.
I have no idea. I can read every mind in here except yours. Work, sex, money, sex, boyfriend, nothing. It's quite frustrating.
Why? What's wrong with me?
I tell you I read minds and you think there's something wrong with you?
he smiles, charmed by her. But his smile fades. That torn look returns. He holds on to the rail, looking out.
What is it?
I don't have the strength to stay away from you anymore.
She's surprised and thrilled.
Edward, you don't have to.
He's drawn in by her encouraging gaze, but he closes his eyes a beat and turns back to the water.
This is wrong.
Edward.
You're cold. We should go.
He walks away before she can ask any more questions. Exterior road night. Edward's Volvo speeds along the 2-lane highway. Interior Edward's Volvo night. Bella glances at Edward, might ask him more questions, but he seems to be wrestling with his own thoughts. Finally,
I think I'm warm enough now.
she reaches for the heater dial. He does as well. Their hands touch and hold a moment too long, an electric current connecting them.
Your hand. It's still freezing cold.
He pulls his hand away, but she keeps looking at it. Then her attention shifts outside to flashing police lights as they drive past the Forks police station. A sheriff's car pulls away. Charlie's cruiser is parked out front.
Dad, you're late. Something must have happened.
Exterior Interior Forks police station night. The Volvo pulls up. Bella and Edward climb out. Edward then sees a second car next to the cruiser.
That's my father's car. What's he?
Edward and Bella POV. Inside the darkened police station. In a pool of light, a distressed Charlie and Dr. Cullen study photographs and evidence. As they wrap up their discussion, Dr. Cullen puts a sympathetic hand on Charlie's shoulder, then exits the police station looking grim.
Carlisle, what happened?
Shannon had to step away, so I'm Dr. Kylo. Wayland Forge was found in the woods out near his place. I just examined the body.
Edward darkens. Bella is horrified.
He died? How?
Animal attack.
The same kind that killed the security guard down in Mason?
Edward and Dr. Cullen trade a look. Subtle, but Bella catches it.
Most likely.
So it's getting closer to town.
Wayland lived all the way down on Queets Street. Queets River, 75 miles south.
But that's...
Bella, you should go inside. Wayland was your father's friend.
She goes in. She goes to the door, but looks back to see they're conferring quietly, gravely. Clearly, there's more to this. Interior police station night. Bella enters to find a distressed Charlie studying evidence, photos, maps, trying to make sense of Wayland's death. Deputies come and go in the background. Bella approaches Charlie. He looks up.
Dad, I'm sorry about Wayland.
Known him going on 30 years.
He's obviously torn up. Bella isn't quite sure what to do. and so puts a comforting hand on his shoulder. A beat. Then Charlie squeezes her hand. It's the first physical affection we've seen between them, and it threatens to evoke even more emotion in Charlie. So he tamps down on it and rises, then projects a confident manner.
We'll get to the bottom of this, Bella. But in the meantime,
as an ambulance pulls up outside, he opens a drawer, finds out a canister of pepper spray.
I want you to have this.
That's probably not a good.
It'll give you some peace of mind.
She sees his need for this and allows him to put it in her purse. As Charlie goes to get his coat, Bella steps outside to see exterior police station night, Bella's POV. 2 attendants hoist a metal gurney into an ambulance. On it, Waylon's dead, white, bloody bare feet peek out from under a sheet, resting at a disturbingly unnatural angle. Off Bella chilled. Smash 2. Flash pop to Edward's black eyes. Flash pop to Edward's cold white hand. Flash pop to the 5 Cullens, slow motion, beautiful and white. Flash pop to Waylon's twisted white feet. Interior Bella's room, on Bella, night. As she turns on the light, she hears a snap. Outside the window, she rises, digs into her purse with the pepper spray Charlie gave her, and goes to the window. She looks out. All she sees is the wind blowing hard, but she's rattled. She closes the curtains, then reaches for the book she bought earlier. She thumbed through, laying the pepper spray within reach. Insert the book, Kill-You-At Forks, Folk Stories and Art. As she leafs through, we see photos of ancient carved masks, comical, menacing, haunting. Then she stops on a photo of a white mask with black eyes and a row of sharp teeth. The inscription reads, "The Cold One." Bella quickly goes to her computer and Googles "Cold One." Several beer ads appear. Frustrated, she closes the pop-ups, revealing a link to "The Cold One," a Potemkin. Intercut between Bella and the computer screen. Several pictures begin loading. The seductive Apotmakin, with his ice blue skin, devouring his victims in tapestries, engravings, paintings, creatures beautiful and horrific, craven, skeletal, demons attacking villages, perfectly sculpted predators, luring innocent maidens. It's all murder, blood, sexuality. Then several words leap out in quick succession. Speed, strength, cold-skinned, immortal, then finally, blood drinker. And we land on a picture of a handsome man biting a woman's white neck. Flash popped to the same picture as it momentarily comes alive, but now it's Edward biting Bella's neck, blood dripping. Back on Bella. She reels back from the computer in utter disbelief.
It's not possible.
Off Bella's face, struggling to make sense of it all. Match cut. Exterior school, lawn, on Bella's face, dawn, thick fog. She stands in the center of the deserted green lawn. Her expression tells us she's still reeling with disbelief. Stay on her face, time lapsing as the bell rings and students exit class, rushing past Bella as she stands still waiting. Bella's POV, Edward and his siblings. Across the lawn, heading to class, Edward sees Bella, sees the intensity on her face. He stops. She walks to him, eyes meeting his. Her look says, "We have to talk." And she continues directly past him into the dark forest that borders the school. He watches her disappear into the trees, then takes a step to follow. Jasper moves in front of him. Rosalie grabs his arm.
Edward, don't go.
But Alice gently removes Rosalie's hand from his arm.
He's already there.
Exterior forest day. Bella stands amid the trees, waiting. Then the sound of the forest abruptly drops out. A predator is near. Edward appears from behind her. She doesn't turn around. A beat.
You're impossibly fast and strong. Your skin is pale white, ice cold. Your eyes change color. And sometimes you speak like you're from a different time. You never eat food or drink or come out in the sunlight. And you said no to the beach trip only after you heard where it was, because of the treaty.
This last registers with him. She steps closer to him.
How old are you?
17.
How long have you been 17?
A long beat as we begin to circle them. He sees he can't hide anymore. Honesty is an enormous risk, but he has to take it.
A while.
She inhales. She knew, but it's still shocking. We circle them faster.
I know what the cold ones are. What you are.
Say it. Out loud. Say it.
All sound suddenly drops out. We hear only her whisper.
A vampire.
They seem to hover in momentary stasis. Him utterly exposed, her reality utterly rocked.
Are you afraid?
No.
Then ask me the most basic question. What do we eat?
You won't hurt me. You're different.
You think you know me?
He glares at her. She holds her ground. Suddenly, he takes her by the hand, starts walking.
Where are we going?
Up the mountain, out of the cloud bank. You need to see what I really am, what I look like in this harsh light of the sun.
No. The sunlight will kill you.
Myth. You need to see the truth.
He pulls her, but she stumbles.
Slow down.
Suddenly, he's right next to her.
Are you afraid?
No.
Then come with me. Someplace where no one can protect you. Where I could do what I've wanted to from the first moment I met you.
Their proximity is intense, riveting, both of them.
I'm not afraid.
You should be.
He abruptly and effortlessly scoops her up into his arms.
Hold on.
And he flings her onto his back. It starts running. Exterior forest running day. As in the opening sequence, Edward races through the forest, dark trunks, strobing past as he picks up speed, faster and faster. Bella clings to his back as it seems he'll collide with the trees, but he avoids them with supernatural grace. It's frightening, nauseating, intoxicating.
Are you afraid?
No.
But she clings tighter, terrified. They climb an altitude higher and higher above the fog layer. Finally, up ahead, the forest edge fast approaches. A clearing is beyond. The sunlight glows white hot beyond the trees. They're about to emerge from the shadowy darkness, but suddenly, Bella finds herself sitting on the ground against a tree. All is silent. She's dizzy, tries to regain her equilibrium. Then she realizes she's alone.
Edward? Where are you?
She rises, then steps just beyond the fringe of the ferns into exterior meadow continuous day, a perfect circle of swaying grass, wildflowers, and buttery sunlight. Here, a stream nearby. Bella looks around and finally sees Edward, his shirt open, standing nearby in the shade of some trees. He watches her cautiously. She takes a step toward him, but he holds up a hand. She waits. Finally, he takes a deep breath and steps out of the shade.
This is why we don't show ourselves in sunlight.
As the sun hits him, Edward's skin literally sparkles as if embedded with thousands of tiny diamonds. He's magnificent, shimmering like a statue carved from glittering crystal. He moves towards her.
This is what I am.
He nears, clearly expecting her to recoil, but
You're beautiful.
he realizes that she's in awe. She reaches to touch him, but he immediately backs into the shadows, his skin normal again.
Beautiful. I'm a killer, Bella. This is the skin of a killer.
His arm juts into a shaft of light, sparkling again.
I don't believe that.
Because you believe the lie, the camouflage. I'm the world's most dangerous predator. Everything about me invites you in. My voice, my face, even my smell. As if I need any of that.
Suddenly he's behind her, then in front of her, then by a tree, darting so fast we only see where he lands.
As if you could outrun me. As if you could fight me off.
He abruptly rips off a large tree limb, then throws it against a tree trunk with explosive force. Bella flinches but holds her ground, unshakable.
I'm designed to kill.
I don't care.
I've killed people.
Doesn't matter.
I wanted to kill you. I've never wanted a human's blood so much in my life. I'm dangerous to you.
I trust you.
Don't.
I trust you, Edward. I'm here.
She takes his hand. He reels at the warmth of her touch. She leans in, drawn to him, unaware that her throat is nearing his lips. Then suddenly he's gone.
Edward?
She looks over to find he's on the other side of the meadow, catching his breath.
You took me by surprise. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know how.
Slowly.
Me and my family, we're different from others of our kind. We're not nomadic. We have a permanent home. We only hunt animals. We've learned to control our thirst. But your scent, it's like a drug to me. My own personal brand of heroin.
Oh, I thought you hated me when we met.
I did. For making me want you so badly. I'm still not sure I can control myself.
He reaches for her again.
I know you can.
He's utterly vulnerable as he looks at her, searching her face for clues.
I wish I could understand this thing you see in me. You look at me with those eyes. I can't read your mind. Tell me what you're thinking.
I'm afraid.
Stricken, he sinks gracefully to his knees in the grass.
Good.
She sinks down in front of him.
Not of that. I'm afraid you'll disappear. That I'll lose you.
You don't know how long I've looked for you.
They share a smile. Then he reaches her toward her neck, pausing.
Be very still.
She does so. Exercising great control, he places his hand on her throat. It's so exposed, so vulnerable. The rush between them is overwhelming, but Bella doesn't move. He brushes his hand up her cheek, then lowers it to her heart. Clouds float past the sun. They're both overwhelmed, taking each other in.
And so the lion fell in love with the lamb.
Stupid lamb.
Sick. Lion.
Crane up on the two of them, laying together as close as they dare, his hand to her heart. Dissolve to interior Bella's room morning. Close on Bella's face, still in bed, thinking.
About 3 things I was absolutely positive. 1, Edward was a vampire.
She rises, goes to the mirror, looks at herself, worry knitting her brow.
2, there is a part of him that thirsted for my blood. And 3,
She moves past her window, something catches her eye, causing her to bang into her desk. She looks back out. Bella's POV the driveway. Edward leans against his car, looking up at her with a small smile. She beams at the sight of him.
I was falling unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him.
Omitted. Exterior Olympic rainforest day. Another day. Edward helps Bella balance walk across an enormous fallen pine tree in the moss-covered forest.
How long have you been like this?
Since 1918. That's when Carlisle found me.
She takes that in. It's a lot. But it stokes her curiosity.
Where did he find you?
In a hospital, dying of Spanish influenza. My parents had already died.
Flashback to Chicago Hospital 1918 night.
What was it like?
The word excruciating comes to mind. But what Carlisle did was much harder. Not many of us have the restraint to do that.
Didn't he just bite?
Not just. Our bite contains venom. And once we taste blood, a sort of frenzy begins. It's almost impossible to stop.
But Carlisle died. Oh, but
First,
Carlisle did.
that's okay, Bella. First with me, then with his wife, Esme. He found her in a hospital as well. The others followed.
Back to present day.
Does someone have to be dying to become like you?
Their conversation continues as we go to Exterior River's Edge Day, another day. They walk along a stunning coastline, rugged black rocks covered in bright green moss.
No, that's just Carlisle. He would never do this to someone who had another choice.
So Carlisle's the reason why you hunt animals instead of people.
Not the only reason.
He stops, looks down at her, serious with emotion.
I don't want to be a monster.
She nods, understands, he smiles.
We call ourselves vegetarians, by the way. For our kind, hunting animals is like living on tofu. It keeps you strong, but it isn't very satisfying. As a vegetarian, tofu is satisfying. I'm sorry to break, but it isn't.
I second that.
Then, abruptly, he whips past Bella. She turns to see him standing on a large rock in the river.
Show off.
It's not that impressive, really. Anyone in my family can do this.
Can they all read minds too?
No, that's unique to me. But Alice can see the future.
Really? Bet she saw me coming a mile away.
She notes his change of mood as she slows, darkening.
Her visions are very subjective. The future can change.
He cuts off her questions by returning to shore and continuing their walk. At exterior Charlie's house, Twilight, another day. Water sprays from a hose as Bella and Edward wash her truck. A boombox plays. He perched on top of the roof.
Come to my house tomorrow.
Bella looks up, aiming the hose badly. Water ricochets off the cab and sprays in her face. He jumps down from the roof.
Your house? With your family?
He wipes down the dented front fender, then reaches under it and, with his bare hands, easily pops a large dent out from the truck's body. She's too flustered to register it.
But what if they don't like me?
You're worried, not because you'll be in a house full of vampires, but because you think they won't approve of you?
I'm glad I amuse you.
But then his laughter dies as he hears something.
What is it?
A complication.
As a black car comes into view and pulls up.
I'll pick you up tomorrow.
He heads to his car, eyeing the passengers in Edward's POV interior black car, Jacob, with his father, Billy, whose expression is intense, anxious. Slow motion as Edward locks eyes with Billy. Jacob looks questioningly at his father. Bella watches Edward drive away. Perturbed by the exchange, she forces a smile and goes to greet the visitors. Jacob sets up Billy's wheelchair and Billy climbs into it as...
Come to visit your truck?
Looks good. You got that dent out.
Actually, we came to visit your flat screen. First Mariners game of the season. Plus, Jacob here keeps bugging me to see you again.
Great, Dad. Thanks.
Jacob shoots his father an irritated look. Just as the police cruiser pulls up, Charlie climbs out, holding 2 six-packs.
Shit, I dropped something. Hail ale.
Harry Clearwater's homemade fish fry.
Charlie smiles, pleased. He clicks on the game as they all head inside.
Any luck with the Whalen case?
Found a footprint out at the crime scene today. Bare human footprint.
Billy seems disturbed, but not surprised. Bella is horrified.
A person did that?
Crazy person walking around barefoot this time of year.
Spread the word out the res, will ya? I really don't want to do gun juice. Keep the kids out of the woods.
Will do. Don't want no one else getting hurt.
Bella looks away from Billy, unnerved. Omitted, dream sequence underwater. Bella floats near Edward, only their hands touching, but their bodies are nearing so close, so sensual. Suddenly, Edward is yanked downward. Something has him, pulling him down. Smash 2, interior Bella's room on Bella morning. As her eyes pop open and relief sweeps over her as she realizes it was all just a dream. But it haunts her. Exterior Olympia Peninsula Road day. Aerial shot of the forest as we sweep over its lush green expanse to find Edward's Volvo speeding along very fast. The Volvo finally drifts off the highway onto a long serpentine dirt road. Follow the car until finally it reaches a small meadow, in the center of which sits exterior Cullen's house day. A timeless, graceful house. The Volvo pulls up and Bella climbs out, surprised.
It's wonderful.
You expected turrets, dungeons, and moats?
No, what? Not moats.
He takes her hand. She girds herself. They head inside. Interior Cullen's house living room day. Edward guides Bella into the large, bright house. Walls of glass look out on the river. Everything's open and white. Historical objects are tastefully placed throughout. Here, Verdi's Le Travitia l'inviano ne rieste calvisi. Coming from another room, Bella is enraptured.
It's so light and open.
Thanks to tinted windows, it's the one place we never have to hide.
We then notice claying coming from the kitchen. Edward shakes his head.
I told them not to do this.
Interior Cullen's house, kitchen day. Verdi's opera blasts Bella and Edward, who enter to find the kitchen in full swing. Dr. Cullen, Emmett, Rosalie, and Esme prepare elaborate platters of Italian pastas and antipasti. Esme rolls out a pizza dough and fans tomatoes around it in an instant. Rosalie stirs a pot, disinterested. Esme sees Bella and stops, emanating maternal warmth. Her heart-shaped face and billows of hair are reminiscent of the silent movie era.
Bella, we're making Italiano for you.
This is Esme, my mother for all intents and purposes.
Buongiorno.
Molto bene.
Given as an excuse to use the kitchen for the first time. Hit pause.
Anna Koss, brand new Williams Sonoma cookware boxes to the corner. They're watching an Italian cooking show on TV. Emmett hits the DVD remote control.
I hope you're hungry.
Oh, absolutely.
She already ate.
Bella shoots him a look, but something shatters. Rosalie has thrown down a bowl and now strides out.
Perfect.
Interior living room, continuous day. Bella exits behind Rosalie, trying to explain. The others follow.
I just assumed because you don't eat, you know.
Of course. That was very considerate of you.
Ignore her. I do.
Yes, let's keep pretending this isn't dangerous for all of us.
I would never, ever tell anyone.
She knows that.
Problem is, you two have gone public now, so.
Emmett.
No, she should know. The entire family will be implicated if this ends badly.
Badly?
This hangs in the air uncomfortably. Edward can't look at her.
Oh, badly. Like where I become a meal.
Emmett chokes back laughter. Edward grins, wraps his arm around Bella. Even Esme has to chuckle. Rosalie, exasperated, heads back into the kitchen. Emmett shrugs, goes after her.
Oh, hi, Bella.
On the balcony, Alice sleeps over the rail, holding a bouquet of wildflowers. Jasper follows her. She bounces forward to kiss Bella's cheek and hands Bella the wildflowers.
I'm Alice. You do smell good.
Alice?
Oh, it's all right. Bella and I are going to be great friends.
And you're Jasper, right?
Pleasure to meet you.
But he shies away from her hand.
Well, you won't hurt her, Jasper.
He isn't so sure. Edward takes Bella's hand instead.
I'll give you a tour of the house.
I'll see you soon.
Edward shoots Alice a look, which Bella catches before he guides her up the stairs. As they ascend, Bella takes in the eclectic art pieces from around the world: Ethiopian crosses, Dresden china, Asian scrolls. They reach this landing to find a wall of dozens of artistically arrayed silk squares and with tassels. Bella looks closer.
Graduation caps?
A private joke. We matriculate a lot.
What a nightmare. Repeating high school?
True, but the younger we start out in a new place, the longer we can stay there.
She shivers at the thought of it as they continue on. Interior Edward's room, day.
And this is my room.
Bella enters to find a wall of glass doors open to a deck with the river beyond. The rest is floor to ceiling with CDs, vinyl, 8-track tapes, etc., with a sophisticated iPod stereo setup.
So you're obsessed with music, but no bed?
No sleep.
Ever?
No nightmares, no drool, no snoring.
She considers this as she runs a hand along a wall of CDs studying the titles.
Do you have any favorites?
Depends. Alternative, jazz, 60s, 70s.
Oh, she knows her music. All right. 90s, 1890s, classical.
I have to say Debussy.
He looks at her, surprised, and smiles.
My favorite.
Off their connection, he pulls out a CD and puts it on. A solo piano version of Claire de Lune begins to play. He moves to her, taking her hand, then he starts to turn her in a pirouette, dancing with her, but she breaks off and backs away.
No dancing.
Ever?
No tripping, no falling, no derision.
I can always make you.
You don't scare me.
You really shouldn't have said that.
He grins, a low growling sound in the back of his throat. She laughs and backs out the door, onto Edward's room, deck continuous. Bella backs up to the rail. Edward appears in the doorway, shifting into a half crouch, about to pounce.
Don't you dare.
Suddenly, she's airborne as he tackles her and they fly off on the deck. Then she finds herself in a tree in his arms. When she realizes where she is, she laughs, delighted. It's infectious. He laughs heartily, too. Cutaway to interior Cullen house, living room, same. Esme and Dr. Cullen look out the window. Edward's laughter filters inside to them. Esme in turn smiles.
She's brought him to life.
He's been alone too long, but how can it end well?
Alice has been wrong before.
Not often.
Esme turns to Dr. Cullen, gently but absolutely firm.
Carlisle, Bella is what he wants. It'll work out. Somehow.
Dr. Cullen smiles at her with love, then takes her hand as they look back out the window. Exterior tree, same. Edward looks Bella in the eye.
Trust me?
In theory.
Then close your eyes.
She does, warily. He grips her more firmly, then leaps them to another tree like a flying squirrel. Then again to the top of another tree. He easily gets a foothold while holding Bella.
Open.
She does, to the most astonishing bird's eye view of the valleys, river, and mountains beyond. Camera whirls around them, allowing us a 360 view of their surroundings. Off Bella's intoxicated face, cutaway to exterior high school day. Jessica pops a volleyball in the air doing practice serves. Angela takes a picture of her, then points her camera around, looking for another shot. Eric studies some flyers advertising the prom.
Monte Carlo, that's our prom theme.
Gambling, tuxedos, and Bond. James, ow!
As Jessica headbutts the ball, which hits him in the face.
Oh my God.
Angela, scanning for a shot, has frozen. Jessica and Eric see Bella and Edward arriving together. All eyes on campus are turning to them, filled with curiosity, jealousy, envy.
Everyone's staring.
Not that guy over there. Oh, yeah, he just looked.
off his rakish but reassuring smile. Close on a German Shepherd, moving fast, tracking. Include Charlie holding the leash. Exterior forest day. It's a hunting party. Several dogs, half a dozen armed men.
Sorry, I was typing something. Guys, we got something.
The deputies hurry to Charlie. They gather around a footprint. The dogs start pulling them in a certain direction. As the posse takes off at a sprint, unknown POV on Charlie from a distance. We watch Charlie and the posse move away, reverse to find James atop a knoll watching them. Laurent stands next to him. Victoria jogs up.
They took the bait.
By tomorrow, they'll be halfway to Winnipeg.
Victoria lasciviously grabs James's shirt, pulls him to her.
I love when men chase me.
He grins, then starts taking off her clothes. They pull each other on toward the wood with final lust. It barely registers with Laurent, who continues to watch the posse with concern. Interior Forks Coffee Shop, late afternoon. Bella hurries towards the entrance, trying to keep the joy on her face in check, with minimal success. Outside the door, she passes Mike, hanging out with several of his basketball teammates.
Yo, Arizona, so you and Cullen.
She shrugs, non-committal, but can't entirely hide a smile as she hurries inside to Charlie's table and slides in.
Sorry, I'm late. Biology project.
Cora sets atop a sirloin steak in front of Charlie and plate of seafood in front of Bella.
Ordered you the seafood combo.
Order one for yourself next time. You should cut back on the steak.
I'm healthy as a horse. My Cora, that's right. Say, Chief, boys want to know, you find anything down by Queets River today?
Charlie's aware of the loggers at the counter listening, too. He frames his answer carefully to keep everyone calm.
Suspects moving east. Kitsap County Sheriff's is taking over from here. They're putting extra guys on. Hope they catch him fast.
He moves off with a measure of relief. Charlie and Bella pass each other the salt, butter for bread, etc., with an easy rhythm now.
Your friends are flagging you.
She turns to see Mike and the guys horsing around her, straws in their noses, making faces at her. She smiles.
It's okay you want to join them. I'm just going to turn in early anyway.
Yeah, me too.
It's a Friday night. Go out. The Newton boys got a big smile for you. Nice family, the Newtons.
He's just a friend.
None of the boys in town interest you?
We're not really going to talk about boys, are we?
Just, you should be around people. I leave you alone too much.
I've never minded being alone. Guess I'm a lot like my dad that way.
Charlie smiles. These two have come a long way. Cora returns.
Barry Cobbler, 2 forks.
She sets it between them, off them, both reaching for forks. Interior Bella's room night. Bella dresses for bed, looks out the window as she talks on the phone with Renee. Bella's euphoria still lingers in her eyes.
So, spring training's going well?
Intercut with interior cafe night. Renee talks on her cell. Phil is in the background post batting practice, chowing down with a couple of teammates.
Yeah, Phil's working hard. We're looking around for a house to rent in case it becomes permanent. You'd like Jacksonville, baby.
Actually, Forks is kind of growing on me.
Could a guy have something to do with that?
Maybe.
Oh, tell me everything, Jock, Indy. I bet he's smart. Is he smart?
Well, he is kind of a history buff.
This as she turns to find Edward lying on her bed, smiling. She nearly drops the phone.
I have to go.
No way. We gotta talk, boys. Are you being safe?
Edward shoots her a look. He heard that. She's mortified.
I'll call you later, Mom.
Stay on Bella, who hangs up.
How did you get in here?
The window, as always.
You've been here before?
What else is there to do at night?
She pushes him. He grabs her hand and playfully pulls her onto the bed, wrestling as...
You're a peeping Tom, perv.
The chief will hear you.
But the electricity of their physical contact quickly overwhelms them, their laughter quieting. He studies her face.
I just like watching over you.
He raises his fingers to her lips, sending a thrill up her spine.
There's something I'd like to try.
She nods, bedazzled by him. He takes her face in his hands, hesitates to test himself, then he softly kisses her. What neither of them is prepared for is her response. Her breath comes in a wild gasp. Her fingers knot in his hair, clutching him to her. Lips part as she breathes his scent. Then his hands gently but forcefully push her face back. She opens her eyes to see that his eyes are wild, his jaw clenched.
Oh, oh,
He relaxes slightly, looking at her blushing face.
I'm stronger than I thought.
I can say the same. I'm so embarrassed.
Don't be. But we have to be careful. I can never lose control with you. Ever.
She nods, then carefully lies on his chest. He wraps his arms around her, off the two of them. Interior Charlie's house, living room, late afternoon. Bella enters to find Charlie cleaning a rifle. He starts to say hello, but she just blurts out.
I have a date with Edward Cullen.
He suddenly looks like he's having an aneurysm.
I forgot what an aneurysm looked like. He's too old for you.
We're both juniors. I thought you liked the Cullens.
And I thought you weren't interested in any of the boys in town.
Edward doesn't live in town. It's in the early stage and whatever, he's outside right now.
Now he's out there?
He wants to meet you. Officially.
Good.
He cocks the rifle in mock seriousness.
Be nice, okay? He's important.
Charlie gives his daughter a reassuring nod, then she opens the door to reveal Edward in a parka and gloves.
Chief Swan, I wanted to formally introduce myself. I'm Edward.
Edward extends his hand. Charlie takes it, but grunts a hello, resisting him.
I won't keep Bella out late tonight. We're just going to play baseball with my family.
Bella's going to play baseball?
Bella's equally surprised, but hides it.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Well, more power to you, I guess.
She'll be safe with me, sir. I promise.
As Edward exits, Charlie holds Bella back.
You got that pepper spray?
Dad.
Exterior Charlie's house, late afternoon. Edward and Bella climb into a massive Jeep parked in the drive.
Your father thinks you should go to an all-girls school.
No fair. Reading Charlie's mind.
As they climb in the Jeep, Bella notices a baseball bat.
And since when do vampires like baseball?
It's the American pastime. Plus, there's a thunderstorm coming. It's the only time we can play. You'll see why.
Exterior, clearing and woods, twilight. Storm clouds gather in the sky as Bella and Edward pull up in the Jeep. He takes in a rough baseball diamond set into an enormous field in the lap of the Olympic peaks. Esme and Emmett come to greet Bella.
And you're here. We need an umpire.
She thinks we cheat.
I know you cheat. Call him as you see him, Bella.
Whip pan to Alice on the pitcher's mound.
It's time.
Just as a deep rumble of thunder shakes the forest, begin montage the game, and it's extraordinary. Bella stays by Esme, who plays catcher. Alice pitches with lightning fast speed. Edward and Emmett take positions in the outfield. Rosalie smashes the ball with the aluminum bat. It cracks like thunder, and is followed directly by real thunder.
Now I get why you need the thunder.
The ball shoots like a meteor deep into the forest, rocketing through the trees. Edward disappears after it.
Now that has to be a home run.
Edward's very fast.
Rosalie darts around the bases, almost a blur. Edward races out of the forest with the ball and whips it to home plate. Whap. Esme catches it a millisecond before Rosalie slides in.
You're out?
Esme nods, amazed. Bella watches as Dr. Cullen hits the line drive. Edward and Emmett race for the catch, diving 15 feet and colliding with such might that it sounds like enormous bawling. They miss the ball. Dr. Cullen is safe. Jasper whacks the next pitch deep into the forest, but before Edward can chase it, Alice suddenly gasps.
Stop! I didn't see them.
They all stop. Edward is immediately at Bella's side. The family instantly gathers at home plate.
They're traveling so quickly.
You said they left the county.
They did, but then they heard us and changed their minds.
Put your hair down.
Like that'll help. I could smell her from across the field.
Edward ignores Rosalie as he arranges Bella's hair.
I shouldn't have brought you here. I'm so sorry.
She'd ask why, but suddenly they all turn as one toward the edge of the forest. There's a faint rustle, then James, Victoria, and Laurent emerge. As they near, Bella sees their bare feet. Then the deep burgundy of their eyes. Laurent holds up the baseball.
I believe this belongs to you.
He tosses the ball to Dr. Cullen, who easily catches it and smiles politely.
Thank you.
Could you use 3 more players?
Of course.
I'm Laurent. This is Victoria and James.
Would you like to bat first?
Laurent picks up a bat. The Cullens take the field. Dr. Cullen is catcher. Edward's on first, with Bella behind him near the Jeep. Bella sees that Edward's eyes are locked on James. Laurent is at bat first.
I'm afraid your hunting activities have caused something of a mess for us.
Our apologies. We didn't realize the territory had been claimed.
Yes, we maintain a permanent residence.
The 3 newcomers exchange a look of surprise.
Really? Well, we won't be a problem anymore.
The humans were tracking us, but we led them east.
Jasper pitches the ball. Laurent slams it, but Alice is up a tree in a flash, and the ball slams into Alice's hand with a thwop. Laurent is pissed, but James smiles ever so slightly, delighted at the discovery of worthy opponents. James is up next, and he power slams it with amazing force. He runs past first, past Edward, past Bella, close on Bella, in slow motion as the wind from the ball ruffles her hair, carrying her scent, which floats to James, who suddenly screeches to a halt. His head whips around at her, and he lurches into a crouch, his nostrils flaring, excitedly, eyes lock onto Bella.
You brought a snack.
Edward springs in front of Bella, baring his teeth. A truly menacing, feral snarl rips from his throat. James growls back. Overhead shot, in a flash, the Cullens rush into position behind Edward. Laurent and Victoria line up behind James.
The girl is with us.
We won't harm her.
Just try it.
I think it's best if you leave.
Yes. I can see the game is over. We'll go now. James?
But James's eyes don't leave Edward's. Laurent puts a hand on James's shoulder, and finally, James backs into the woods with his cohorts, disappearing. Once they're gone, Esme immediately gathers up the bats.
Get Bella out of here. We'll follow them.
Dr. Cullen, Jasper, and a resentful Rosalie race off after the 3 vampires. Edward scoops up Bella as we smash to exterior baseball field on the Jeep late Twilight. Edward whips Bella into the Jeep and straps her in.
James is a tracker. I saw his mind. The hunt is his obsession, and my reaction set him off.
The tires spin as Edward whips the Jeep around.
We're a large clan of strong fighters, all protecting one vulnerable human. I just made him think this is his. I just made this his most exciting game ever.
Bella blanches with the dawning realization of what she has just wrought up on all of them. The Jeep careens down this dirt mountain road, a jolting, death-defying ride, splashing through creeks until they reach exterior mountain road night. The Jeep speeds wildly down the road.
The first place he'll go is your house. He'll track your scent there.
What? Charlie's there. He's in danger because of me. Because of us.
Then we'll lead the tracker away from him. Somehow.
He angrily whips around a bed, mud flying. Interior Charlie's house living room night. Charlie watches a baseball game on TV as the door suddenly bursts open to reveal Bella, crying, devastated.
I said, leave me alone.
Bella, don't do this. Just think about it, please.
Get out. It's over.
She slams the door. Charlie has risen, baffled, concerned.
Bella, what happened?
I have to get out of this place. I'm forced. I'm leaving now.
Bella runs upstairs. Charlie hurries after her. Interior Bella's bedroom night. Bella slams the door behind her. Reveal Edward's already there, pulling things from her drawers and shoving them into a duffel faster than humanly possible. Bella leans against the door.
I can't hurt him.
Edward gives her a look. You have to. There's a knock. Intercut, Charlie on the other side. It's agony for both of them.
Bells, did he hurt you?
No, Dad.
Then what? Did he break up with you?
I broke up with him.
I thought you liked him.
That's why I have to leave. I don't want this. I want to go home.
I'll be in the truck.
And he disappears out the window. Bella gathers strength to continue her performance. She opens the door to reveal Charlie. He follows as she carries her duffel and truck keys into interior Charlie's house. Stairs continuous night. Bella charges down the stairs. Charlie follows.
Your mother's not even in Phoenix.
She'll come home. I'll call her on the road.
You can't drive home now. I'll take you to the airport in the morning.
I want to drive. I need time to think. I'll pull into a motel in a few hours, I promise.
She heads down the stairs. Charlie follows. Interior Charlie's house, living room continuous night. Bella reaches the ground floor with Charlie on her heels. She's almost to the door, but Charlie blocks her.
Bells, I know I'm not around much, but I can change that. We can do more things together.
She takes a breath, hating herself for what she's about to say.
Like watch more baseball on the flat screen or go to the coffee shop. Same people, same steak, same berry cobbler every night. That's you, Dad, not me.
This hits Charlie hard. She can barely stand it, heads down the stairs as he takes a second to recover.
Bella, I just got you back.
Which breaks Bella's heart and forces her to deliver the final blow.
And if I don't get out now, I'm going to get stuck here like Mom did.
Charlie stunned, wounded. She takes advantage of his shock, pushing past him out the door. Exterior Charlie's house night. Bella exits, heads to her truck. Fresh tears spring from her eyes. Angle on the woods. Trees, branches, and a pair of deadly eyes. James. He watches from a distance as Bella pulls out. The truck moves off, and so does James, leaving Charlie alone with his pain, staring out the window. Interior Bella's truck night. Bella drives, wiping tears away. Suddenly, Edward's outside the car near Bella's window.
He'll forgive you.
Bella slides over to the passenger side as Edward opens the door, sliding in, and takes the wheel. Bella slumps.
His face. I said the same words my mother used when she left him.
It was the only way he'd let you go.
Edward floors it.
Your father's safe now, Bella. The tracker is following us.
Suddenly, boom, a dark figure leaps onto the bed of the truck. Bella screams.
It's all right. It's just Emmett. Alice is in the car behind us.
She catches her breath. It kills him to see her so frightened. She looks out the window as they drive through town. Bella's POV, exterior Forks coffee shop, continue at night. The small insulated town passes by in slow motion. Inside we see Mike, Jessica, Eric, and Angela, laughing, flirting, innocent, hopeful. Exterior Cullen house night. Edward, Emmett, and Alice rush Bella from the truck to the house, but freeze when the door opens and Laurent exits. They immediately take defensive positions, but Dr. Cullen appears.
You have to warn us about James.
They back down slightly. Laurent addresses Dr. Cullen.
I've grown tired of his games, but he's got unparalleled senses, absolutely lethal. I've never seen anything like him in 300 years, and the woman, Victoria, will back him. Don't underestimate her.
Dr. Cullen nods thanks. Laurent looks at Edward, apologetic.
I'm truly sorry for what's been unleashed here.
And he moves off, it disappearing into the woods. Interior Cullen house 4-car garage night. The side door bursts open as Edward and the Cullens enter, followed by Bella. The lights flip on to reveal a pristine garage, the Volvo, red BMW, black Mercedes sedan, and an SUV. Everyone but Rosalie springs into action, opening cupboards for supplies, cell phones, extra batteries, maps, portable GPS units, change of clothes, cans of gasoline, etc., as they load up in the vehicles.
I've had to fight our kind before. We're hard to kill.
But not impossible. We'll tear him up.
We'll rip him apart with our hands, then burn the pieces.
I don't relish killing another creature, even a sadistic one like James.
If he doesn't get to one of us first.
This is insane. You can't put yourselves in danger like this for me.
Too late?
Edward shoots Rosalie a look, but he grabs 2 sets of keys off a hook, throwing one set lightning fast to Dr. Cullen.
I'll run Bella south while you lead the tracker away.
No, Edward. The tracker thinks you won't lead Bella. He'll follow you.
I'll go with Bella. Jasper and I will drive her south. I'll keep her safe, Edward.
Edward agonizes, frustrated. Alice steps forward.
Can you keep your thoughts to yourself?
She nods, an unspoken agreement. Edward finally surrenders his keys to Alice. Then she opens one of Bella's suitcases, pulling out clothes, tossing them to
Esme, Rosalie, put these on so the tracker will pick up Bella's scent.
Why should I? What is she to me? Just a danger you've inflicted on us.
Rosalie, Bella is with Edward. She's a part of this family now, and we protect our family.
She glowers, but picks up the clothes. Dr. Cullen hits the floor opener, and the massive metal doors roll open. Dr. Cullen squeezes Edward's shoulder before he and Esme climb into the SUV. Everyone finishes loading up, climbing into cars. Amid this, Edward and Bella take a moment together.
If any of you get hurt because of me...
We won't. There are 5 of us, 2 of them. When it's done, I'll come get you.
He pulls her closer, looking into her eyes.
You're my life now.
They drink each other in, possibly for the last time, as the SUV peels out, wiping the frame. Exterior Highway Pacific Northwest, dawn. The sun begins to rise on the empty road as a sleek black Mercedes sedan with dark tinted windows blasts through frame. Interior Mercedes, same. Jasper drives, Alice in the passenger seat. Bella's in the back, her eyes red from crying. She talks on her cell phone.
Mom, it's me again. You must have let your phone die. Anyway, I'm not in Forex anymore, but I'm okay. I'll explain when you call.
He hangs up, then faces back out the window, watching the green, misty Olympic Peninsula speed past. Off Bella's face, a series of dissolves throughout the day, then the night. Show us the landscape as it changes from dark green forests to stretches of grassy hillsides to drier, browner surroundings until night falls and headlights flash by us. Finally, we land on exterior forest, Olympic Peninsula Day. Trees blow past us at blinding speed as we track Edward, Rosalie, and Emmett, who dart in and out of frame, blasting through the misty woods. Edward, the fastest in the lead. Edward stops, trying to read his enemy's thoughts. Rosalie tears a tiny swatch of her shirt, leaving it on a flowering maple tree. And then they're gone. Exterior, another part of the woods, day. Esme and Dr. Cullen crouch atop a hill, looking down at the river. In the distance below, they see their POV on the lake. Victoria jogs into view. She then looks in their direction. Once Dr. Cullen and Esme are assured she has their scent, they continue over to the hill's crest. Exterior forest, Olympic Peninsula Day. James blasts past the flowering maple, then stops. Backtracks to the tree, finds a tiny swatch of fabric. He starts off again, but stops, smells the fabric. Something's not right. He runs back in the opposite direction. Uh-oh. Smash 2, interior Scottsdale Hotel, bedroom, late afternoon. On Bella's face, her eyes open. She's lying atop a bed, fully clothed. She rises, reorienting. Interior Scottsdale Hotel, living room, late afternoon. The blinds are pulled. Alice and Jasper stare blankly at the TV set. Several plates of food crowd a table. Alice looks up as Bella enters, looking at her cell phone.
She called.
You should eat.
But Bella ignores the food. She sits heavily.
They could get hurt. It's not worth it.
Yes, it is.
She's taken aback. It's the first time he's engaged with her.
Edward's changed since he found you, and none of us want to look into his eyes for the next 100 years if he loses you. It's worth it.
Suddenly, Alice reels. Jasper goes to her. Bella follows.
What do you see?
The tracker. He just changed course.
He sets a pad of paper and pencil in front of her.
Where will it take him, Alice?
Pushed in on Alice's face as we see flash pop to James, a disorienting vision of him standing in a room full of
Mirrors. It's a room full of mirrors.
Alice begins to draw at hyperspeed, closing her eyes, trying to see it clearly.
How do the visions work? Edward said they weren't always certain.
She sees the course people are on while they're on it. If they change their minds, the visions change.
Bella looks over at Alice's shoulder to see the drawing.
So the course James is on now will lead him to a ballet studio?
You've been here?
No, I don't know. I used to take ballet lessons there as a kid. The school had an arch like that.
Was your school here in Phoenix?
Yeah, around the corner from my house. But I haven't been there in 10 years.
Do you have any reason to go now?
No, hell no, I hated that place.
Alice and Jasper share a look, trying to figure this out. Suddenly, Bella jumps as her cell phone rings. She picks it up, sees the caller ID, and exhales relief. She answers it.
Edward, are you all right?
Intercut interior Jeep exterior Washington Road day. Dr. Cullen drives the Jeep fast, Emmett in the back, Edward in the passenger seat on his cell phone.
I'm coming to get you. We lost the tracker. The woman is still in the area. Rosalie and Esme are protecting your father.
This is my fault. You warned me, but I didn't think.
Bella, we're in too deep. We can't change how we feel.
No, we can't. When will you get here?
In a couple of hours. Then you and I will go somewhere. Together. The others will keep hunting. Bella, I swear to you, I'll do whatever it takes to make you safe again.
Off Bella, her eyes welling. Exterior Scottsdale Hotel day. See Alice in the lobby, settling the bill. Jasper loads up the car out front. Interior Scottsdale Hotel bedroom day. Bella gathers her things, then her phone rings again. Insert caller ID. It reads, home. Bella answers.
Mom, I'm so glad you got my...
Bella, where are you?
Calm down, Mom. Everything is fine, okay? I'll explain every...
Hear rustling on the phone, as if Renee dropped the phone.
Mom, are you there?
And Bella hears a voice that sends a chill down her spine.
Nice house you have here. Not the best on the block, but comfortable.
Intercut with interior Renee's house Phoenix day. Very close on James, his sinister eyes and vicious smile.
I was prepared to wait for you, but then Mom came home after she received a very worried call from your dad. It all worked out quite well.
Bella's eyes are wild with fear.
I must say, Forks High School doesn't protect its students' privacy very well. It was just too easy for Victoria to find your previous address.
Bella? Bella?
Leave my mother out of this.
You're protective of her. That's nice. You can still have her, but you'll need to get away from your friends. Can you do that?
I don't think so.
If your mother's life depended on it?
Bella's terrified, but there's no choice here.
Where should I meet you?
James grins as he fingers a photo of Bella that's attached to the refrigerator with a magnet. It's the same photo Charlie has of her, age 7, in a tutu, sitting on the floor.
The old ballet studio around the corner. And I'll know if you bring anyone along. Poor Mommy would pay the price for that mistake. She smells like you. Delicious.
Stay on Bella as she hangs up, panicked. She starts flinging open drawers, searching for a weapon, a pen, a sewing kit, useless. Then she remembers her purse. She dumps out the contents and finds the pepper spray Charlie gave her. She clings to it, her only protection now. Interior, exterior, Scottsdale Hotel, Twilight driving. Bella walks through the lobby, scanning for Jasper and Alice. She spots them outside under the porch cashier, loading the Mercedes, deep in a heated discussion. She slips out the opposite door, rushes toward a taxi and jumps in, closes the door. The driver is an elderly woman with a hacking cough.
8th and Palo Verde, please.
The taxi pulls out. Bella watches the hotel disappear, off her face in the rear window.
I've never given much thought to how I would die.
Exterior Scottsdale Hotel, night, Bella's POV. Once again, we see the polished malls, the manicured cactus gardens, all empty for the night.
But dying in the place of someone I love seems like a good way to go.
Exterior Mimi School of Dance night. Bella climbs out of the taxi. It pulls away, leaving her on the curb facing the deserted building. Bella twirls her mother's ring around her finger, then reaches for the pepper spray.
I can't bring myself to regret the decisions that brought me face to face with death. They also brought me to Edward.
She slips the pepper spray into her jeans pocket. She wraps her purse strap around her wrist. She takes a breath, approaches the school, peers in the windows. The blinds are drawn, but from inside, we hear a faint sound.
Bella? Bella?
It's time. Bella goes to the front door. It's unlocked. Interior Mimi School of Dance studio night. Bella cautiously enters this grand, empty room of mirrors. A ballet bar wraps around the walls.
Bella, where are you?
Bella whirls, trying to find its source. She follows the sound to a cleaning supply closet. She throws open the door to find a TV on screen. A video plays. Bella, age 7, hides in the very closet the TV is in now. Little Bella looks up at us.
Don't you want to dance, baby?
Little Bella shakes her head stubbornly. The frame jiggles as Renee hands someone the camera. Renee, 10 years younger, appears on screen and kneels next to Bella.
Everyone makes fun of me.
Oh, but you're a wonderful dancer.
Mom, I suck.
Laughter behind Bella. She spins, trying to locate James in the mirrors.
That's my favorite part. Stubborn child, weren't you?
Bella's face flushes with rage and relief.
She's not here.
Sorry, but you really made it too easy.
Visible in the mirror, he sighs, disappointed. Then he steps up next to her and points a video camera at Bella.
So to make things more, hold on, get my flash out. To make things more interesting, I'm gonna make a little film of our time together. Borrowed this from your house. Hope you don't mind.
Bella flings her purse at him and runs for the door.
Excellent. An escape attempt.
Suddenly, he's right behind her. She freezes.
It'll break Edward's little heart.
He smells her hair, touches her throat.
Edward has nothing to do with this.
He will. His rage will make for a more interesting sport than his feeble attempt to protect you.
He's having too much fun to notice the pepper spray in her hand. She spins around and sprays him. Then she runs as James reels back briefly, but he leaps over her and lands right in front of her. Amused, he flings her hair across the floor like a bowling ball. She smashes hard into a mirrored column. James captures it on film.
Beautiful. Very visually dynamic. I chose my stage well.
He advances towards her.
Still stubborn, aren't you? Is that what makes you special? Frankly, I don't see it.
He inhales as if he can taste her already.
Too bad he didn't have the strength to turn you. Instead, he kept you this fragile little human. It's cruel, really.
James flips on the camera, but the lens is coated with pepper spray. He tries to wipe it off.
Well done. You succeeded in annoying me.
He stomps on her shin. Here, her tibia snap. Bella screams in agony.
Tell Edward how much it hurts.
Abruptly, the camera is in her face.
Tell him to avenge you.
No, Edward, don't.
James inhales as her blood pools. He leans in hungry. Bella, half conscious, watches him turn the camera on his own face. Video camera's POV, extreme close-up on James's face.
But the end.
Suddenly, James is knocked out of frame. He rises to find himself face to face with Edward. James charges Edward, forcing him up against the column.
You're alone, because you're faster than the others, but not stronger.
James smashes Edward's face into the mirror until it cracks.
I'm strong enough to kill you.
Edward flings James backwards, smashing through a freestanding mirror into the doorway. He scoops Bella up and leaps toward the balcony exit door, when suddenly he and Bella are jerked downward. James yanks Edward violently onto the floor, knocking Bella out of his arms. As James flings Edward up the top window, embedding him in the casement in bricks. James crouches beside Bella. He grabs her hand. Looking directly at Edward with a sinister grin, he sinks his teeth into Bella's hand. She screams in agony. Edward's rage erupts. He climbs out of the window casement and suicide dive bombs James, savagely plowing him through the floorboards. On Bella, as the venom travels through her veins, Bella's POV. Dark figures twist and fight in and out of focus. Her eyes suddenly pop open to see the explosive raw reality of James kicking Edward, delivering death blows when suddenly Edward's hands shoot up and grab James's ankle. Edward roars up to his feet and swings James around like a baseball bat, smashing him into mirror after mirror. James is battered, beaten. Bella moans, and the sound of pain slices through Edward. In an animalistic fury, Edward bites off a piece of James's flesh. Whip pan from Bella's horrified face to Dr. Cullen, now standing beside Edward, placing a hand on her son's shoulder. Edward turns to see his father, and Emmett, Jasper, and Alice dropping down from the balcony. Edward's expression changes. He realizes he's gone too far. He backs off as his siblings crouch into attack mode and lunge at James like a pack of animals. Dr. Cullen rushes to the injured Bella, who screams again in pain. Edward dashes toward her. Bella's POV on the three Cullen siblings, going in and out of focus. It's almost like a tribal dance as they rip out the floorboards and build a fire. It's like a funeral pyre as they rip James apart, throwing limbs into the fire. Back on Bella as Edward reaches her side. Dr. Cullen works fast to assess her wounds, focusing on the massive bleed from her leg. But clearly her hand hurts most. She writhes in pain. Intercut Bella's disoriented POV with the chaotic reality. Dr. Cullen applies pressure to the gash on her thigh.
Her femoral artery's been severed. She's losing too much blood.
It's on fire. My hand.
Venom.
You have to make a choice. Either let the change happen.
No!
Bella's POV, Alice appears behind Edward, fuzzy, indistinct.
It's going to happen. I've seen it.
It doesn't have to be that way.
Alice, find me a tourniquet, a rag, a shirt.
Alice holds her nose and avoids the blood as she rips the sleeve off her blouse and kneels to aid Dr. Cullen.
It's burning.
What's the other choice you said?
Tighter, above the knee.
Carlisle!
You can try to suck the venom out.
I won't be able to stop.
Find the will to stop, but choose. She only has minutes left.
Edward looks down at Bella, thrashing in pain. Finally, Edward takes her hand. She tries to pull it away.
It's all right, Bella. I'll make it go away.
Looks at her, then starts to suck the venom from her hand. They never take their eyes off of her. The connection palpable. Close on Bella's eyes, wild with pain, but subsiding. Close on Edward's eyes, the frenzy has begun. He sucks harder, hungrily. Anguished, he wants to stop but can't. Dr. Cullen's voice sounds miles away.
Stop! Her blood is clean. You're killing her.
But the bloodlust is too strong. He is killing her. Bella looks at him forgivingly as she begins to lose consciousness. Bella's POV on Edward growing blurry. He disappears into the blinding light. It's as if she's underwater like in her dreams.
Wait. Life. Oh, wait.
No.
Okay. Death is peaceful. Easy.
Bella starts to float away. We're losing her. Suddenly, from the darkness, Edward reaches out a hand. A brilliant light flares. Bella's face appears in the whiteness. Eyes closed, but they slowly open. She squints at the light.
Life is harder.
An oxygen tube rests under her nose. She reaches for it, confused. A hand stops her as her surroundings come into focus.
Oh, you're awake, baby. You're okay.
Interior hospital room day. Bella lies in a hospital bed, bandaged leg in a cast, in bad shape. Renee hovers over her, tears in her eyes. On the dresser, C, get well cards, and a photo montage of her friends from Forks.
Edward? Where's.
He's asleep.
She nods across the room to a chair in which Edward sleeps.
He never leaves, and your dad's down in the cafeteria.
What happened?
Baby, you fell down 2 flights of stairs and through a window. I forgot that.
Confused. Renee jogs her memory.
Edward came here to convince you to come back to Forks. His father brought him down. You went to their hotel, but you tripped on the stairs.
A moment, then Belle realizes it's a cover story. She nods.
Sounds like me.
Renee's cell phone beeps. She opens it, reads a text, starts typing in a reply.
It's Phil. He's worried about you.
Mom, you're texting.
I told him to stay in Florida. The Sun signed him.
That's great, Mom.
Jacksonville is always sunny, and you'll have your own bathroom.
Mom, wait. I want to live in Forks. I have Dad and friends.
And he's there.
Bella shrugs, conceding the truth.
Charlie doesn't like him, blames him for your leaving.
What do you think?
I think that boy's in love with you.
Bella smiles, Renee grins, Bella glances at Edward.
Mom, would you mind getting Dad? I want to talk to him. Apologize.
I'm sure he doesn't care about that baby, but I'll go get him.
Renee kisses Bella's forehead, then exits. Bella watches her go. The door shutting behind her, Bella turns back to find Edward standing next to her with deep concern. His eyes, well, he kisses her forehead soothingly.
Is James, did you?
We took care of him. And the woman, Victoria, she ran off.
She closes her eyes with relief, then looks at him.
I'm alive because of you.
You're in here because of me.
Her wounds cause him pain. He strokes her face.
The worst of it was thinking I couldn't stop.
But you did.
Bella, you should go to Jacksonville, where I can't hurt you anymore.
What? No, I want to be with you. I don't want.
It's all right. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
He wraps an arm around her as she curls up in his arms. Dissolved to exterior Forks, Washington, late afternoon. An aerial sweep over the lush green forests. We're back in the misty, damp beauty of the Pacific Northwest. Exterior Charlie's house, beautiful late afternoon. At a picnic table, Charlie cleans a fish with a big knife. Edward waits awkwardly near his Volvo, dressed in an elegant suit. But even calm Edward is unnerved by Charlie's glare. The front door opens, and they look up to see Bella, framed in the doorway in a stunning long dress. Edward is enchanted. Bella descends the steps with difficulty due to her leg cast. Charlie edges out Edward to help her down.
Alice lent me the dress. It was the only thing that would fit over my cast. Is it too...
You're perfect. I'll take good care of her, Chief.
Heard that before.
Edward moves to open the car door. Charlie holds Bella back.
Put new pepper spray in your bag.
Dad.
And you look beautiful.
Father and daughter share a smile. Exterior interior mansion, viewpoint inn, Twilight. Edward's Volvo pulls up to this lovely inn. He helps Bella out of the car and begins to guide her through the dining room. Mr. Molina and other teachers are there. We may notice the back of a redhead mingling with the chaperones.
I can't believe you're making me do this.
He just grins. Edward guides her around a corner to exterior mansion backyard, Twilight. The prom, Monte Carlo style, gambling tables and roulette wheels, guys in tuxes and girls in gown, gamble for prizes, dance and socialize.
You really are trying to kill me.
Prom is an important rite of passage. I don't want you to miss anything.
She can't be mad at him, just shakes her head affectionately. They continue into the prom, several heads turn. Bella sees the dance floor where a gap is formed. In the middle, two couples whirl gracefully. It's Alice and Jasper, Rosalie and Emmett, looking absolutely stunning. Rosalie glances over. Indifference has replaced fury, but Alice waves brightly. Bella returns it with a smile as we hear a crossfade into the next track. Bella's POV, the DJ booth. It's Eric at the turntables making the room bounce. Next to him, Angela wears the headphones, flipping through a stack of vinyl. They nod at Bella. She suits them a smile when a flashbulb gets her attention. Bella's POV, photographer station. Mike and Jessica stand in front of an Aston Martin cutout. Bella catches their eye. Mike does his best James Bond impersonation. Jessica poses like Pussy Galore. Erica smirks. Edward smirks, then turns to Bella.
Shall we?
Oh, you're serious?
He doesn't wait for an answer, more or less carries her to the dance floor, then places her feet atop his own and starts to move. She actually begins to enjoy it.
See? You're dancing.
At prom.
As they dance, she feels his grace, his strength, becomes thoughtful. Finally, she looks at him.
Edward, why did you save me? If you'd let the venom spread, I could have been like you by now.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't want this.
I want you. Always.
I won't end your life for you.
He keeps dancing, slowly, hoping his was the last word.
I'm dying anyway. Every minute I get closer, older.
That's how it's supposed to happen.
Not the way Alice saw it. I heard her. She saw me like you.
Her vision's changed.
Based on what someone decides. And I've decided.
He looks at her, angry.
Is that what you dream about? Becoming a monster?
I dream about being with you forever.
You really want this?
Yes.
He lowers his lips to her neck. One bite is all it would take.
You're ready. Right now.
Yes.
His lips hover over her skin, a long beat. Then he presses his lips to her throat. A bite, a kiss. He looks at her.
You're going to have a long and happy life with me. Isn't that enough?
Looks at him and finally smiles.
For now.
They whirl around, gliding on his grace, never looking away from one another, as we crane up on them in each other's arms.
No one will surrender tonight, but I won't give in. I know what I want.
Continue up and back on the dance floor, we realize someone's watching it, looking down from the window of a second-floor hotel room in the inn. The music wafting echoes pull back to reveal Victoria turning from the window, stylishly dressed now, but a low, sinister snarl in the back of her throat, pushed in fast on her face and into her burgundy eyes, filled with vengeance as we smash to black.
Woo! Let's go! Should have practiced that before.
Yay!
Hey, look at y'all.
We need to take our bows.
We're gonna take our bows. That was great.
There goes my pepper spray.
Cool.
When do we do New Moon?
I know.
I will see y'all tomorrow at 7.
This
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let me stop.